permission to park there and it was towed. Now, unless the person admits that, it wasn't there by permission. How many times have we had that happen where somebody said, do this, and then they won't admit it? They won't agree to it. They won't say, oh, yeah, I told you you could park there, because now they don't want the responsibility because it was towed. So I always tell people, get things in writing or initialed, but that doesn't always work either if somebody doesn't have the authority to do it. It's really sticky, especially like you're buying cars. How many times have I heard people say, I made it clear this was going to be a commuter car for my 16-year-old. Well, what difference does that make? They're not obligated to meet you and to fix you and to find something for you because you said it's for a commuter car for a kid, therefore it must have this, this, and this, or it must be reliable. That doesn't work that way. 303-713-TALK is our number if you have a problem, a question, or complaint. And that means anything. Anything in your life that you think you need help with, give us a call. Today we also have a guest, Jamie Baumgarten, Dr. Jamie Baumgarten, PhD, one of the scientific people from Panacea Life Sciences, and I call that realcbdthatworks.com, panacealife.com. Jamie, what's newest in CBD? Now, CBD is exploding, and of course, Panacea is not the only brand. It's the one that I love. It's the one that's homegrown, and it's all over the place. I mean homegrown, I mean Colorado. They're all over the country, just like other products are. And CBD is being accepted as an alternative to medical marijuana and some of the same benefits as marijuana, but not the THC and not all the crap that goes with it that people are controversial about. But CBD in and of itself, is there anything that can't be done with CBD that can be done with pot, good old-fashioned medical marijuana?
Well, remember that medical marijuana has THC in it, so it's going to have psychogenic properties. And a lot of people want to function like...
They want that.
Some people want the psychogenic piece, but some people want to take this like an aspirin or ibuprofen.
Yeah.
And that's the way that we actually look at the non-psychogenic cannabinoids.
Psychogenic meaning high?
Meaning getting high, yep.
Or euphoric?
Euphoric, high.
What is it about CBD, though? It does have some quality of making you feel good.
Well, it's an anti-inflammatory, and I think
what?
An anti-inflammatory.
But how does that make you feel good?
So the anti-inflammatory effects, say for example, you have a sore elbow, and all of a sudden your elbow starts to feel a little bit better.
Oh, but that doesn't make you feel good. Okay, it does, but I'm talking about, like, sometimes it makes you feel giddy almost. I don't mean high at all. I just mean better about life.
So one of the things that CBD also does is actually has anti-anxiety properties.
Okay.
And it will help with acute depression. So from that standpoint, you're not seeing a high or being giddy. You're just going to feel better.
Got it. And also... CBD was tested in a laboratory. I don't know if they're doing clinical trials with people, but it does inhibit viral cells from entering into human cells.
That's correct. It's one of those things that came out last time we were talking on the show, is that CBDA, one of the other cannabinoids found in the hemp plant, will not only bind to the virus, but it'll prevent the virus from entering into human cells. And again, it's a test tube experiment at this point.
Right.
But it's something that we're working on other applications. So if we can inactivate the virus while it's in the air, for example, that could be something we could actually try and do.
303-713-TALK is our number. 713-8255. Again, we also are looking into why the Adams County Treasurer... Did you get any callbacks, Doc?
I did not. I left a message for the treasurer, and I'm still waiting their call.
I don't think you're going to get a call. The Adams County Treasurer, I mean, everybody and their mother's looking at him, all the media, seems to be like, I don't know, like a rebel or something. Hoarding checks, not depositing them, not bookkeeping. I mean, it's like, it's an abomination in Adams County. Property taxes, checks sent in for property taxes not being applied, people being penalized, the checks being lost in space, nobody knows where they are. It's really crazy, really crazy. Now, do you know right now, one of the big bubbles, they say, credit card debt. With inflation, where is the difference going? To credit cards. In other words, people aren't complaining because they're just charging more. But right now, I believe credit card debt had an $87 billion rise in just the last quarter of last year. Think about that. And many people are saying it has to do with inflation. That's how they're paying for gas. I mean, if they don't have the money in their bank with a debit card, or they don't have the cash, they're simply putting it on a credit card, and the increase in credit is being reflected in consumer spending. And that means we're heading toward not only inflation, but bubbles, debt bubbles. And another thing I want to mention, consumers for the first time have been spending less in the last quarter. Not more, but less, and small businesses are starting to feel a bit of a crunch. Now remember, whenever you have low unemployment, inflation, and then people start curbing spending just a little, that has a chain reaction that causes a recession. That's coming next. There will be a recession. And that's when everything starts falling in price because people stop buying. Right now, people are buying a bit, but they're slowing down. And that's the next sign. We already have the low unemployment, hard to find people, inflation, and now you're going to start seeing people cutting back just a little on buying stuff. And when they cut back just a little, it has a cumulative effect and causes a recession. What you can do about it, not much as an individual. You can't stop a recession as an individual, but you can hedge against it as an individual. And that is, unfortunately, don't buy at inflationary prices, and that just adds to the recession, but there's nothing you can do about it. You have to protect yourself and try to preserve cash and make conservative investments. That's just the way it is. Now, yes.
I can't believe what a drag it's going to be on the average consumer. I filled up my car this morning before coming to work. It was $62. Now, that is a huge amount of money to have to pay for a tank of gas for everybody. It's going to be a burden.
I was filling mine up, and the credit card cut off at $80.
Really? It's crazy.
It cut off because I put it as a fill-up, but I guess there was an internal thing so I had to swipe it again to keep going. There's only a few more dollars, but it was over $80. Yeah, it's a big tank, but I just couldn't believe it. And the your mic's not on. Your mic's not on. Okay. There. What?
I said the average consumer is going to feel that, and they're going to have, between gas prices and food prices, it's going to lead to exactly what you said.
Right. Right. 303-713-8255. We're getting a lot of calls, also people wanting to travel, specifically dealing with United Airlines. They cannot upload their negative test to United. Now, how long do you think that's going to go on, where we have to upload negative tests and do masks on airlines? Now, the masks have been extended 1 month, but I'm not sure about the negative testing that you have to upload. I didn't know you had to have a negative test to fly. So when people say they can't upload their negative test, why do they have to upload a negative test? Is that that's only international, right?
Well, no, it's anywhere. But
wait, are you sure, Mark? If I want to,
I'm not sure. But they were saying if you show up at the airport with it, they'll take it right there. We had 2 or 3 calls that said that.
But a lot of people are having a problem with that.
Yeah, it would have to be international because I've flown a ton of times in the last few months, and I haven't had to have a test at all.
Dr. Baumgarten, as far as CBD, the antiviral, or let's say the wellness, or what do you call it, the immune formula, is it selling well?
It's selling extraordinarily well. People are taking this as taking it to heart to try and prevent all they can do to prevent any type of COVID or
virus in general. It inhibits virus, according to testing at Oregon, right?
Oregon State University. Yep.
And then, will there be any clinical trials to try to improve on that?
I hope so, Tom. But the thing is that clinical trials will take 2 to 3 years before we get the results back. So, University of Chicago has done some preclinical work showing a mechanism that's CBD actually inhibits viral replication once you infect the cell. So you've got 2 mechanisms of action for how this material works. So coming back to the clinical trials, I would assume
it helps prevent and it helps
It helps
lessen the severity.
Severity of the infection, yeah. So in terms of the clinical trials, those are being enrolled now, but we won't see the results for probably 2-3 years.
Why? Okay, something puzzles me about CBD. I want to ask you about how it was discovered. Why was it separated from the plant?
Well, so the cannabinoid sciences are actually fairly old, right? So CBD was first identified in the 50s.
But why was marijuana? Why was this hemp plant chosen for so much research? Why not spinach?
Well,
I mean, why hemp?
Well, but it started with in the 70s when people were looking at medical marijuana for decreasing nausea, for chemotherapy, for decreasing.
And then from there, they just discovered thousands of properties.
All kinds of. So, like if you Google right now, you probably find 180 different conditions that cannabinoids or CBD in particular treats. Okay.
But it came from the hemp plant.
It started with the marijuana plant.
That's not a hemp plant.
It's cannabis sativa is where it started, and then breeders actually made a plant that was lower in THC, and that's cannabis sativa L. So now you've got all the benefits of the cannabinoids without the getting high product, if you will, or byproduct of marijuana. So now you can take advantage of all the different cannabinoids without getting high. Okay, but it all started back in the 70s, and actually Colorado was at the forefront of showing the benefits.
Are there any other plants known to man that we are working with now that can do stuff like this? Any other plants? I'm talking about categories of plants.
Not again when we look,
and why was this chosen? Was it because people were smoking it and they said, "Hey, let's find a good use for it"? I understand it's good industrially too. The hemp plant itself for rope and other material.
I've never seen anything like it, Tom. I've been in the pharma research and discovery for 30 years. I've never seen a
plant with so much to offer,
with so many new compounds that we can actually develop into health benefits. Okay.
But industrial benefits too. The hemp plant.
The hemp plant has fibers that are stronger than anything else you'll see. So you can make rope, you can make hempcrete, you can make paper,
clothes,
biodegradable plastics, clothes, money. I mean, you name it. And people are actually working with these fibers to generate new materials.
That's just amazing to me that this plant, among all plants, were somehow discovered. And I'm wondering, are there any other plants out there we don't know about that have numerous properties?
Well, remember that George Washington was growing hemp on his farm back in the Revolutionary War for
I didn't know that.
For rope. Oh yeah. So they've known about that for years.
More coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
How long will this bull market last? What will the next recession look like? Are you financially prepared? Visit my website now at kurtcambier.com for your free portfolio analysis. That's Kurt with a K, CAMBIER.com.
Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer, member of FINRA SIPC. Investment advisor representative, Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Cambridge and Centennial Capital Partners are not affiliated.
You know, bigger is not always better. In fact, sometimes you want someone small, someone who'll give attention to you, someone who'll take you seriously, where you're not just a number. And that goes with personal injury. John Fuller has I call it a boutique law firm. He is the main practitioner who handles each and every case along with his qualified staff and will answer all of your questions up front, like, what is it all about? If you have a question about personal injury without hiring him, you can call and get free legal advice. Then if you do hire him, and there's no obligation, but if you do, after asking your questions, he works on contingency. He'll give you a cell phone number and personal attention, and he has the results to prove it works. John Fuller, personal injury, Fuller Law. You can find him at referralist.com or call him directly, 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500. Okay, right now, old jewelry, gold, platinum, you can get silver, anything that you have that you want to get rid of, tangled messes, mismatched earrings, a bracelet, or something in that junk drawer that's just been sitting there, old coin collections, broken watches, DavidEllisJewelry.com, 3rd and Clayton in Cherry Creek. He'll buy the precious metals. Listen, so many people on the internet are soliciting you for precious metals. Don't go somewhere you know no one. Go to a local name that's been trusted for 40 years in Denver, David Ellis, at David Ellis Jewelers, and it's davidellisjewelry.com, 3rd and Clayton, 303-322-8779. Right now, prices are at all-time highs. Well, not all-time, but they're pretty high right now for precious metals, and he'll value it, weigh it, and pay it. davidellisjewelry.com, 303-322-8779.
So many people have told me about Orchard, and no wonder. It's the new way to sell.
And you go to Ideal or American, wherever, I don't care where you go. Do they generally pull that credit? Do they generally send your info off to people purchasing it? So the next thing you know, you have 10 different banks looking at your credit. Is it like Quicken Loans, or did they just pull it once?
The broker pulls it, that extra money. And then they do a final pull, but
does it affect you if you have 3 brokers?
No. Well, okay, I don't know about that, but I know that one broker doesn't affect you, even if they check.
Yeah, but when you want to shop around, this guy asked the best question. If I'm shopping around for a home loan, everybody wants my social.
Hey, can you get Kurt Rogers or Brent Ivinson on your mortgage credit report, or worried about the identity theft?
Well, no, not the identity theft part. Credit. Like, if I'm shopping 5 different loan brokers and 5 of them pull it, that's 5 hard pulls in a fucking day.
Does that count? It's a 2-week window.
What do you mean?
So if you go to Quick and say pull my credit, you get 2 weeks, and where other brokers can actually pull on it without further attention.
Earning your trust since 1998. Service.
Like Quicken's the worst. Years ago, I went into whatever theirs there, Rocket Mortgage.
I asked my mortgage broker, I was worried about it. About going below 720, which
inflation's just spoken here with 40-year record. Thanks to Biden's
so you get 2 weeks.
Is
it possible? Here's another thing I want to know. Is it possible to get a car loan on purpose where your kid is a minor and will get credit? Even if you co-sign, will he get credit score? Will he get good credit, or will they not even report?
Oh, you paying it off?
Will they not report on a
That's a
minor?
good question. I don't know. Because mine doesn't purchase the car, right?
Many happy customers.
I mean,
to learn how to set up your own gold IRA. Get a free 20.
they won't sell it to a minor. Because why would they sell it to a minor when it's none of it is?
Yeah, but I wonder if they can build credit somehow on a loan.
Congress give them some another raise.
Did who?
Well, you know, they take out a credit card. That's the way to do it. And they show up the credit card.
989898 right
That's
now.
too high.
Get your free info kit on gold.
What, if you pay it off every month, there's no interest.
But you don't pay it off every month. It's a car. Oh, you're talking about to build credit.
Yeah.
No, to build credit, you get a credit card, absolutely, for sure.
Right.
Or
A car loan is one of the best things you can do.
both my kids, neither of them have a car loan, but both my kids had fucking credit over 800. And when they were both 16, I added them onto my high dollar credit cards, and I would not let them use them, but I would charge on theirs
Well, then how-
occasionally. Hold on. Then when they turned 18, each of them at the exact same time, we went to the Federal Credit Union down here and got them a secured card. And then after 1 year, so they had credit from those 2 things, and after 1 year, they both qualified for Capital One venture cards with $10,000
So
limits.
basically, you have to be 18 to build true credit.
No, you can add them onto your credit cards, which will start
Can you
building
add them
your
on to,
credit.
if I want to take a car loan on purpose, so they make payments?
I don't know on a car loan. I don't think the car loan would allow. The credit card, you can add them on because you're the main stakeholder.
But how do they get credit for that?
Because when you add them on, like to a Capital One card, it takes your social security, it takes everything. They couldn't hold them responsible for the debt like they could
But they were given credit for it.
they got credit. I mean, I did it.
Hi, Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Frank Duran, the real estate man, by the way, does free market valuations of your home for the asking. So if you're looking for if you're looking for a home, but you're not sure you want to sell, but you're thinking about it, and you're wondering what will my house sell for, Frank will do an analysis based on today's market, not on an appraisal or on Zillow or anything like that. Frank will personally come out and take pics, measurements, check other comparables, and tell you how it compares in the marketplace. It's a true valuation. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. One of our guests, Jamie Baumgarten from Panacea Life Sciences, we're talking about health and why CBD. Why was this plant singled out and researched so much? I mean, it wasn't just research for pot and getting high. In fact, that's probably just one of that's a minority of research on the high. Most of it came from industrial uses or CBD uses, and now CBG, and how many other kinds of compounds are there? They keep discovering them. And I'm wondering, why pot or hemp or whatever the plant is, a cannabinoid, a plant, why, or a cannabis plant, why that? And as I said jokingly, why not spinach? Do we know what the spinach plant can produce? Do we know what the tobacco plant can produce? Do we know what any plant can produce if we researched it as much as CBD? CBD, I mean, in other words, are there other plants that have secret properties we don't know about? Is that a crazy question?
For Popeye.
Huh?
Look what spinach did for Popeye. Maybe
right,
we should
exactly.
evaluate that.
Is there anything, though, that we can have that, I mean, how do we know? Because we're not looking.
Well, so I think we are looking, but the unique part about the cannabinoid plant, I do want to come back to tobacco in a moment, but the unique part about the cannabinoid plant is that they make specific compounds that we don't see in other plants, the cannabinoids. There's over 120 of these. Each one are different in their chemical structure, meaning they'll do something different in the body. Okay, spinach has been pretty well researched in terms of nutrient content and plant componentry. But coming back to tobacco, there was a huge push in the 80s to actually take a look at other elements for tobacco. Tobacco used to be something that you used not only socially, but it was actually used to cure headaches, to actually help with emphysema, to open up the airways. So there are components in tobacco that are actually health beneficial. It's the tar and then the addictive properties of nicotine, which have cast a similar stigma on tobacco that we actually see with marijuana.
Now, something else that was a big hit for a while was spirulina. Do you remember spirulina? It's a green superfood, they call it. I don't even know where it comes from. Is there a spirulina plant?
You can isolate it out of several different plants, but the commonality with some of these things we're talking about, Tom, are antioxidant properties. Okay, so they actually help keep your body young. They help keep free oxygen radicals from destroying particular molecules in your body. So when you think about sunburn, for example, the UV light creates super oxygen radicals that then causes premature aging, wrinkling, things of that nature. So you think about spirulina, you think about the cannabinoids. Their first mode of action is actually antioxidant activity, and that translates into anti-inflammatory activity. And almost every disease that you can think of has an inflammatory component. And inflammation here means your body is responding to the insult to try and solve that particular insult. So if you over-respond, you get tissue damage. You want to have a nice balanced effect with respect to that anti-inflammatory response.
How about, okay, you probably don't know much about this, but I've been reading a lot on mushrooms lately, the magic mushrooms. They say that helps with depression.
You mean microdosing that?
Well, I don't even know the dosing stuff, but they say it helps with depression, and they're actually using it to treat some people with, big-time psychiatric problems.
It's talking about microdosing, obviously. That is the new trend, taking hallucinogenics and using them in microdoses, including LSD.
So we have been looking into that as well, Mark. I mean, so it is one of those things that think about people that come back from horrific incidents, whether it's a first responder, someone, Hurricane Katrina from Iraq, Afghanistan. They have fear. It's called post-traumatic stress disorder. And what they're finding in clinical studies is that microdosing of these psychogenic substances is causing the brain to reset, to get rid of those fear extinction. And so these folks that are crippled by PTSD are able to actually find life again because these psychogenics are actually rewiring.
Well, they're literally psychedelics. The microdosing has not been done on anything but psychedelics as far as that goes.
That's correct.
Right. And the psychedelics, LSD, for example, or is it peyote, comes from the mushroom?
Mescaline.
Right. Mescaline,
like
all of those.
Or something.
They take...
psilocybin is the one you're talking about.
Now, what they do is they take microdosing, and I'm not sure how it works, but there are now clinical psychiatrists doing this in their office, and they're saying, I don't know how they control it, but they're doing it. and they're saying it's an amazing thing. Now, I can joke about this. Timothy Leary, do you remember him? He was the father of getting high. You know, turn on, turn out, or tune out and turn on.
Turn on, drop out.
Right, that whatever. Drop out, turn on, well, yeah, whatever it was, and tune out. But Timothy Leary, as George Carlin once said, I'm a student of Timothy Leary and his brother really Leary. But Timothy Leary said there was much to be found about LSD. Now, all he was doing was tripping. But somebody took him seriously because LSD, by the way, they experimented on it as far back as the war, right? Wasn't there a controversy? They were giving it to black men, right? To see what happened to them. It's like they're experimenting on black guys. Did you know that? Did you hear about those? They would give black guys LSD to see what would happen. Now, I don't know why black guys, but they said, hey, let's do it. Maybe they figured that was the way to go because they didn't consider them valuable. No, it was a big deal. It was a big deal. Now, was it in the military they were doing that, right?
In the Vietnam War, yep.
Yeah.
That recent, the Vietnam War?
Yep.
Now, I don't know what they found out. Were they trying to make them more fearless? What were they doing?
So the original intent was to get rid of the fear so they could be super soldiers. Okay.
Okay.
And then what they started finding coming out of that was the possibility of treating psychiatric disorders with respect to fear, like we're talking about PTSD.
So, well, let's talk about that because I think it's an amazing thing what they're doing because they took it. There's always a little bit of truth in things that sound crazy, and this is what I think happened. People thought, you know what? LSD was a big deal. Let's see what if there are any benefits. I don't know if there was continuing research, but right now microdosing is the latest. But Sharon, listen, what is a Volta Solar? A Volta, is that the name of the system or the company?
That is I don't know if that's the system or the company. It just says a Volta solar panel.
Now, do you have a system?
Yeah, it's up on the roof.
Now, when did you get it, or did you inherit it?
Oh, no. We had it put on.
Okay, how long ago?
This has been going since about well, it was supposed to be hooked up and ready to go in August of last year.
Okay, and it never worked?
They never even got everything done yet.
All right, you hold on. We'll come right back to you and more.
Drugs that are class 1. So I'm not sure they're doing any research on it because marijuana is also a class 1 drug. And they were having a really hard time getting permission for private institutions to do any research with marijuana. The LSD or marijuana.
Well, not so much LSD.
Right. But LSD is still, according to the government, hands off, don't touch it. What?
Heroin?
Yeah. Heroin,
LSD,
and marijuana are three class 1 drugs, which is crazy. So marijuana is a higher classification than cocaine, which is crazy.
I can't argue with you.
It's a crazy classification, but
they just don't give a shit anymore.
Well, so one of the things that's been happening is that the whole marijuana legalization is breaking down this thought of psilocybin or LSD may actually have beneficial properties, so that now they want to actually start releasing.
Yeah, but psilocybin is different than LSD.
everywhere I go,
You still can't get, still hard to get permission to do any kind of research on LSD.
It's a lot more powerful.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
So let's talk about public insurance adjusters. First of all, public adjusters in general are licensed to specifically represent consumers. And Insurance Adjusters of Colorado, Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado, is a company I know and trust that can take care of you. And I urge you to call them. In fact, don't ever do an insurance claim without a public adjuster. You cannot trust your insurance company to do the right thing. You can't, okay? Their adjusters have one goal: to keep your damages as little as possible and not pay you fully. That's it. Now, public adjusters will look at your policy and get you maximum coverage. They will go out and get you more than you ever can on your own, and they work on a small contingency. Now, Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado, I'm going to give you the number and the website. Stay tuned. They're going to look at your claims free of charge, whether it be from the major fire or fringe damage from those fires, or just a kitchen fire somewhere, or hail or wind or any other kind of damage. They will look at your policy. They will look at your claim and let you know what they can do for you free of charge. COClaims.com. COClaims.com. 720-715-0000. 720-715-0000. All right, we're talking about loans as well today when we were talking about the economy, and I want to tell you this, that right now, home loans, interest rates are still pretty reasonable, but you know what? It doesn't matter if you finance with Ideal Home Loans. When you finance with Ideal Home Loans, whether it's purchase money or a refinance of your current loan, you will get the interest rate guarantee. That means if rates go down just 0.75 of a point over the next 2 years, they refinance you free of charge. Now remember, every time you close, you get another 2-year guarantee. IdealHomeLoans.com. They also let you pick your own term. So if you want to take out cash, you don't have to rack to 15 or 30. Some people just want to lower their payments. Some people want to get the loan done as soon as possible. Whatever it is, they can do for you. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness, modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both.
Southwest did with one of their flights, they had a six-hour delay. Before anybody even complained, they sent an email to the passengers and sent them all a voucher for $300.
While they were on the plane or in the airport?
No. As soon as they got the next day.
Oh.
Without anybody complaining.
Let me tell you, Doc.
Southwest is
if I was stuck on a plane for 6 hours, I'd pay $1,000 to get off that motherfucker. I think that is outrageous.
No, they weren't on the.
Okay. No, they're at the airport or wherever.
But
okay.
There was a whole problem with all sorts of planes couldn't get it.
Just logistics.
Yeah, logistics, and then the pilot couldn't fly because he was over his time limit. So they sent an email to all the passengers along with a $300 voucher, which was twice what most of the passengers paid for the flight. But that's that's how proactive companies keep their
they're having a shitload of trouble though, man.
Who, Southwest?
Yeah, I don't know why they're having more trouble than most. We fly Frontier a lot just because it's cheap and they're direct to anywhere we go, whether it's Florida or Vegas or California. They're just dirt cheap.
More so than Southwest?
Oh yeah. If you're willing to do a red eye, you can get to Florida for under $100.
Well,
Orlando.
That's if you carry your bag in your lap.
Don't bring your wife. If you bring your wife, you're paying for the bag, and the bag costs more than the damn the ticket, which still drives me insane.
Yeah.
The bag's $150, your ticket's $100. It's like.
Is their reliability getting better, Mark? Because
Frontier's been good. We haven't had any issues. But we're on the same. It's always the same flight, and they're very popular. In other words, that same plane is going Colorado to Florida, Florida to Colorado. It flies that route all day, every day. The weird ones are where you're flying. Like, I don't think I'd fly Frontier to, like, Nashville because they only fly on, like, Mondays and Thursdays. So if anything happens,
you're done until Monday.
You're fucked, yeah.
By the way, thanks for sending the information about the details.
Oh, good guys, huh?
They were awesome.
Did you need them?
Absolutely. Yeah, I got hit on New Year's Eve.
How much do they save you or get you?
Just by talking with them and then going back. So they didn't take my case, which I thought was really, but they said, here's what you do.
They didn't because you didn't need them.
Well, so they said, go back to the insurance adjuster, tell them, here's 3 comps for your car. And then the insurance company came right back.
An iHeartRadio station.
Oh, so you didn't have to pursue it.
No.
You proved to them.
But they helped.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Sharon says she has a problem with the Volta Solar. And I think we had another problem with the Volta. It sounds familiar to me. I'm looking it up. Sharon, you signed with them in August of last year, so I need to know, what did they not do, and what have you paid?
Actually, our payments have been since August to now every day to them on monthly payment.
Wait, okay. You've been making monthly payments without an active solar system?
That's right.
Did you get your tax credit?
Not yet.
Okay.
It isn't up and going.
Okay.
It's on the roof. The meter has not been put on from XL. We have called XL and found them. They say they don't even have anything from a Volta that says that they can put it on, that everything's ready to go. And we're still sitting here waiting, and we keep getting told, it'll be...
Okay, you have no operating solar system. Why are you making payments?
Right.
Then why are you making payments?
Well, I want to know this. Do we have? My son was mad as the dickens when he found me out. He said, "Oh, Mom, don't make any more payments."
How much is the whole system?
27,000.
And how many kilowatt? Do you know?
Oh, you know what? I don't know.
Okay.
You know what they did is we have.
How many panels? Tell me that. How many panels?
9.
It's not very big.
No, and that's fine. That's fine. We told them that is fine. We heat our house with wood during the winter. We don't need that electricity.
Why did you get solar?
We thought it might help us because of the amount that the electricity is going up.
Okay. And so what has to be done yet?
They have to put the meter on, and they still want to get paid, and they keep saying, oh, go ahead.
What needs to be done before? XL puts the meter on, so what needs to be done?
I don't know.
So they just left you hanging. They don't call. They don't do anything.
They won't call back.
They literally came there. Call. They came there and got put in a system and left it undone and just never came back.
They didn't come back and finish it.
Why?
They put a panel on our backyard, on our back patio, got that all hooked up there, but we weren't to touch anything because the meter hadn't been put on yet.
And when did did they say they would call to have the meter done?
Oh yeah, he says we'll take care of that.
All right. Do you have a Okay, this is ridiculous. We need someone to call over there right this minute and find out what the hell. Deputy Doc is chomping at the bit. Hold on, let's get this done. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Jennifer, what is going on with you, Jennifer? Welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino. What's happening?
Thanks for taking my call. I bought a fifth wheel trailer in the end of January.
Okay. Where'd you get it?
They had a cousin's RV in Longmont.
Okay.
They had it advertised as a 2021 Keystone Cougar BHS, and that's what we thought we purchased until we went to register and all that stuff, and it turns out what we have is a 2020 Keystone Cougar, and it's a DBH.
Okay, so what's the difference? First of all, the 2021, what was the letter designation you gave it?
It's a BHS.
What does that mean? No, I'm talking about it was advertised as a 2021 what?
Keystone Cougar. Keystone Cougar.
What letter designation? What does that mean, the letters after it? You said a 2021 Cougar what?
BHS, meaning a bunkhouse.
Okay. Now, did it have that?
Yes, it has a bunkhouse, but the floor plans are night and day. They're not anything alike.
But you saw the floor plan. I mean, here's what I'm getting at. I'm not saying it was right, by the way. It was advertised as 2021, but you literally looked at a 2020. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, not knowing. That it was
I know that, but you were looking at it, and you said the floor plan was different, but what difference has it made? You walked through it and saw the floor plan of the... by the way, I'm not trying to trick you, okay? I get it, and I'm with you on misrepresentation, but the part I don't understand is you're upset about the floor plan, but you were walking through the floor plan.
No, I'm not upset about the floor plan. We love our trailer. What I'm upset about is that we signed paperwork and took a loan out on a 2021.
And I agree with you totally. That's wrong. Okay?
Yeah,
does the contract say 2021?
Yes.
Well, then they have to...
Not our registration.
Well, hold on. So you thought right up through contract you were buying a 2021.
Correct.
And the contract says 2021.
Correct.
And when did you find out it was a 2020?
When we looked at the vehicle registration, when we were getting ready to put plates on it.
And when you went to motor vehicle, that's when you found out.
Well, when we got the paperwork out to take it to there, yes.
What
we
paperwork?
Saw there was a discrepancy.
What paperwork?
Well, we needed the Colorado vehicle registration.
Okay.
She didn't realize until they basically had the registration that it was a 2020.
Well, how could she register it without the proper paperwork?
They
send the paperwork. Whoever the dealer was sends the paperwork.
So Cousins sent the paperwork to DMV as a 2020, even though the contract said 2021.
No, they sent it as a 2021. I don't know how they did that, but when you VIN search it, it's a 2020.
Now, I want to tell you something. On RVs, there are sometimes, this is very weird, sometimes it doesn't go by date of manufacturer. Sometimes it does. It depends on how the manufacturer does it. But this is what I'm trying to discern. It was advertised as a 2021. Okay.
Correct.
Everything said 2021, except you say when you do the VIN search, it says 2020. Where else the very first time did you read 2020? Because when I buy a vehicle, I don't search the VIN. So when did, like the very first time you saw, that's what I need to know. It was a 2020. Okay. You say when you went to register, but I want to know the first time.
I don't get what did she look at? I think when she went to get the tags, from DMV, they hand you the literal registration. I think that's the first time she saw it.
I think she said when she pulled out the paperwork, and that doesn't
the paperwork being the registration.
Pulled out the paperwork from where?
From DMV.
She didn't say that. She said I needed to pull the paperwork out to go to DMV. That's what she said. And I don't know what fucking paperwork she had to pull out. Was it in the glove box? I mean, what is she talking about? When she pulled out the paperwork, or did she mean when they gave it to her? I don't know. And then she pulled it out. You mean the paperwork she got at DMV? I don't know what they're talking about.
And then we're looking at 53 today, 67 tomorrow. Currently it's 46.
Susan's just checking to see if we have a contact and a go to before I call her
I feel
back.
like I'm being haunted by a pair of headphones. Everywhere I go is a creepy ad for headphones I've looked at one time. I hate that feeling like I'm being watched. I downloaded DuckDuckGo.
Just
saw it right away. Take back your privacy online with DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Colorado Pain Care, Sport and Spine. I want you to read about them to find out their benefits because they benefited me and got me out of pain. I really mean it. Okay, I had chronic pain for years they helped me with, and then some acute pain now and then from a sports injury, and they've helped me there. ColoradoPainCare.com will tell you about this amazing clinic that concentrates on getting people's lives back. They have multiple clinics throughout Denver. Now, here's the good part, okay? Conveniently located in different areas, and the hours 7 to 7 to accommodate you. They have procedures they can do right away, non-invasive procedures they can do, or more invasive. They have meds. They have physical therapy at a doctorate level. 303-GOT-PAIN. Make your call. Make a same-day appointment if you have to. 303-GOT-PAIN. You know, I like Genesis because they do solar. We just heard about a problem with Genesis. Well, guess what? With solar. If they used Genesis, they wouldn't have a problem because Genesis isn't going to leave a job half done. Genesis Total Exteriors, of course, does all of the home improvements inside and out. Plus, Genesis Solar does solar systems with a 25-year component guarantee and a 25-year production guarantee. So whether you want home improvements inside or out, from basements, kitchens, baths, or you want outside siding, windows, gutters, painting, decks, and more, or you want solar, you can call GenesisTotalExteriors.com. That's Genesis 303-679-8509.
Social Security questions? When should you start your benefits? 62, 67.
I had to do another one because he wasn't in.
So many questions, and Social Security will not give you the answers. I'm Mike Whitmore with Blue Heron Capital, inviting you to a free Social Security class on Thursday afternoon, March 31st. For more information, go to registercolorado.com. That's registercolorado.com, or call 720-488-8604. That's 720.
I gotta drive all the way to fucking Springs. I just found it out before. Help Mikey out. He's dropping his. He needs a transmission. He's bringing it to Kimmer. Stephanie was going to pick him up, but she's got a closing that just popped up, so.
When do you have to do this?
Just after the show. I just wasn't, I was planning on going to
Yoga. What is the car he has?
I don't know which one he's getting a transmission in. I don't know. It's probably hers, which is it's like an Audi SUV. I mean, it's an expensive fucking deal. Our place in the Springs quoted way more than Kimmer. Way the fuck more.
How is Mark doing? Not that Mark. Mark at budget.
No idea. I think he was so. I think his personal issues consumed the fuck out of him, and now that everything is over, I think he's like getting on and figuring life out again. You know what I'm saying? It was bad, dude. You know, I mean, you know as much as I do. It's not like I know anything more than you, but that last call I got from him over a year or so ago, he wakes up and she's gone. That was some fucked up shit. Night before they're eating dinner together. Dude, there was times his old lady would get so fucking drunk, she'd be calling him from the Hooskow, man.
From the what?
Jail.
What did you call it?
Hooskow.
Hooskow.
You never heard that before?
Never. Not one. That's amazing to me. I've never heard it even drop anywhere. No. I have no idea what it is.
I'm the king of diction.
No, I'm serious. Hooskow.
Hooskow.
H-O-O-S-G-O-W.
Where's the origination? I don't know. It sounds German.
I've never.
I heard it in the cowboy clip.
I have never.
That's where I think I heard it was probably Old West.
I normally, man, would at least have heard of something. But that's like totally.
Talib might have hit it there because if it's you don't watch westerns, did you? I
It
used to
does
watch
sound like a
westerns.
Western thing.
It does, doesn't it?
Here to debunk some tax myths is Mark Stevens, Chief Tax Information Officer at Jackson Hewitt.
One myth is taxpayers thinking they can guesstimate a
Mexican Spanish.
if they don't
U.S. slang for a prisoner jail. Yeah.
credit payment or that third stimulus payment. Use of accurate information from these IRS letters can reduce the
Yeah, you're right. Spanish. Juzgado. What the hell's Juzgado?
Who's got them?
Who's got them?
Yeah, Jay sound like.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, like Jesus and Jesus.
Jesus.
That's such a strange thing to me. It still drives me insane. What Jesus and Jesus is like. I'm like, that's not Jesus. That's an H. English is actually. Our rules are way harder than most other languages.
Oh, it's most ambiguous, short-sighted language.
Yeah, there's just some shit that makes zero sense.
Our pronunciation and spelling are insane. Our grammar rules are pretty straightforward, but the pronunciation and spelling is crazy.
Okay, hold on. I got one for all of you. I bet you guys don't know this. And you two are doctors. And he went to college, and you went to college. And I bet I'm the only one that knows the answer to this. What is an Oxford comma? Where is it used?
An Oxford comma?
Mm-hmm.
What is what used?
An Oxford comma.
I never heard that expression.
An Oxford comma.
It's a, I don't know, but it's actually it's a line out of Vampire Weekend song.
That is true, and that is why I know it.
Hi, Tom Martino, your
Troubleshooter 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, so Jennifer, so now you have a fifth wheel, and you took it home, right?
Correct.
Thinking it's 2021. The very first time you discovered it was a 2020, how long after that purchase was it?
It was about 8 days.
Okay, and what were the circumstances that led you to discover it?
All of our paperwork says 2021, including the bill of sale, but the temp registration they gave us says 2020.
Okay, and you happened to look at that temp registration 8 days later.
Right.
Okay,
yep.
I get it. And so what did you do?
Well, I called them immediately.
Yeah, and what did they say?
They admit it. they admit that it was a 2020. So I wanted new paperwork done, which they overnighted me, and we sent back. And then they pushed the 2021 paperwork forward with the loan. So I want to know if my loan is valid.
Wait a minute. They pushed the 2021 or 2020 paperwork?
No, the 2021 paperwork is what they gave to the...
What did you want? What did you want when you called them? You wanted new paperwork saying it was 2020, or did you want the registration to say 2021? What did you want?
I wanted everything to be 2020 because that's what the trailer is.
And if everything was 2020, how would that benefit you? They still misrepresented you.
They owe you something.
They owe you something here, and I would want more than corrected paperwork. So let's figure out what they owe you. This is very screwed up. I mean, I'd love to see your contract and then your registration, and I want to know what they're going to do. Hold on.
So what is that? President of Cousins was pretty good when he came on.
So you know how, like, if you did, pretend I'm writing this. I have a car, comma, boat, comma, snowmobile, and instead of a comma. You follow?
Yeah. Except that.
So in Oxford, comma, you would actually have followed by the and.
Oh.
So
it's
the last comma in a list of commas, but we usually don't use it in the States.
Yeah, but actually, you know what? When you do a list with an and then the final one on the list, now they are recommending you use a comma on the last one.
Yeah, and that would be an Oxford comma.
Just in the more you know, there's a Rocky Mountain IV spot coming up in the next break, so I put in the paragraph.
Thank you.
And then what do we do with Rocky Mountain IV?
Well, you're going to talk about the drip during the show, because they're coming on.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, man.
They put on a good show.
I like that, man.
They're good.
I haven't listened to anything new, nor do I know if they have any, but we've listened to their full album, fucking this group, Suzanne and I. They're very mellow, man.
They put on a good show.
My favorite's probably, I like where they grew up, because I kind of grew up in that area. Most of their shit's about the East Coast.
What's the name of the group?
Vampire Weekend.
Vampire Weekend?
Yeah, they're kind of like, I call them like alternative, but it's kind of like,
Ham's got to know.
Like the Killers, maybe not quite as much, but they're just different. Have you seen them?
So Red Rocks when it started snowing.
Shit.
It was awesome.
I wonder if she even knew they were here. How we didn't end up at that gig is crazy.
Are they young people?
Yeah.
Young, good.
30s. They've got like 7 albums.
They're not super new by any means, but they're not old. They're probably been around, 10 years? We're seeing the Killers. Listen to this, man. So we fly in on my birthday, April 15th, to Vegas.
Tax day's your birthday?
Yep.
Sorry.
They're playing three straight nights, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, at the Cosmopolitan, and it's less than 3,000.
Wow.
It's beautiful. So we're staying there. We're going to see them Friday night. I'm going to sell all the tickets I bought for Saturday, and then we'll see them Sunday. So we'll see them twice. But I bought 4, 5, 6, 8 tickets, and the 8 tickets cost me a little under $1,000
for all 8 shows.
For all 8 tickets. Okay. All 8 tickets. I bought 2, 4, and 2. And the 4 that I sold, I already sold 2. The 4 will bring me close to $2,000. Wow. So it'll pay for that plus put $1,000 in my pocket. But when we saw Metallica like a month ago, I bought 8 tickets that are called luge seating. Included food, VIP this, all that shit. They cost me $4,000.
Mark, what is this thing Friday? This Friday?
We're out of here at noon. We're out at noon. It's basketball. It's weird to read, isn't it? I thought I was crazy. I had to go ask Shannon. I said, I don't even understand what this is saying. But it's Friday, we're out of it. So I sold 2 of the 8 for what I paid for the fucking 8. Or just about.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That was a badass show. I have not been around 65,000 people for fucking 20 years. I can't think of it. I haven't seen a football stadium show since probably Pink Floyd or Monsters of Rock in the 90s. I haven't seen Metallica out here at Invesco, or whatever it's called this week. I've been to the Pepsi Center, but Pepsi Center's only, what, like 18 or 20, whatever it is. But this was absolutely unbelievable. It was so cool being around people again.
That last show that I went to, Football City, was U2.
Oh yeah, there's very few that can pull off a stadium. We were talking about that. You could probably put Coldplay in there. Metallica, I mean, they can do it anywhere they go.
Queen, probably.
No, they're gone.
No, Queen's still active. They have Adam Lambert.
I don't know if they could.
He's been really good.
You think he could?
No, he's not nothing like fucking Mercury, but he's
pretty damn good.
No. But I mean, you really think they could sell out a football? They could sell 65,000.
I do.
Adam Lambert.
Did you know who we missed?
Love them, and it turns out
Vampire Weekend.
They were here?
Yeah,
2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. That's right. 2 years.
Why didn't we go?
They weren't
there
good
was
then.
a reason.
It was cold
I'll
as
tell you,
shit.
I don't like that one.
They weren't good then.
That sucks. I thought he was a big part of the writing. Because their last album was not my favorite. And it was that album.
Isn't that?
Did you like the last album?
Yeah.
More than their other albums?
What was the one we just listened to?
That's the one with Harmony Holland.
Yeah.
Today the 14th.
That song is good. I'm just saying in general the album.
Today is the 14th.
It's kind of moving more towards mainstream.
No,
Yeah.
17th.
He likes Oxford Comma, the album with that on there, and then the one Hey Ya and Step.
Does she know I have to take phone calls?
I told her that she's got an hour total, so I told her you would be weaving her in and out.
Because I got them here, I got to take care of them there.
I haven't even looked at it.
No, but she's just an intern.
Who is it?
It's the president of Rocky Mountain IV Medics. She just wants to chat about.
Why wouldn't you wait till on that thing with Marty?
What?
Let me know about that thing with Marty.
Waiting to hear back from
Okay,
him.
good. She was on with for a long time.
They're pretty good.
I feel like I'm being haunted by.
We've got, you know who I'm trying to get her to sell because I can't stand them. I can't fucking stand them. But I think I could double, maybe triple the tickets. I don't even remember who it is. You guys know. Hey, who are you hoping will sell? The tickets we're probably going to sell. Who is it? John Mayer.
I don't give a fuck about it.
I don't give a fuck either, but he's sold out.
You could sell it to any 20-year-old girl.
He is so popular.
Doesn't he also play for the Grateful Dead now, or is that somebody else?
I don't know, actually. I have no idea.
Who's the one playing for the Grateful Dead? Maybe it is Mayer. They're making the money.
Soon the Grateful Dead are going to really be dead.
Shit, the main guy's dead. Garcia. But they're doing great right now. They're fucking crazy. They pack it. You know, they don't do big shows, but
they would do Autzen Stadium for a week in Eugene every year, and they filled it down.
Oh my God! When Garcia was alive, they'd come to Philadelphia and the Spectrum would be packed, and then outside was like a fucking concert. I mean, it was more fun outside than going inside. That's the first time I did acid. Was literally a Grateful Dead concert. You know, we're all like 14 or 15, and we're gonna buy some. We had no intent on taking it, but they put little drops in our fucking hand, and we're like, ah, shit. So that was that. We took it, and we started going, we're gonna go find that guy and kick his ass, because 15, 20 minutes goes by, and we think we got screwed. Next thing you know, oh shit. That's definitely a teenage drug, man.
I never tried it.
Oof.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, and we have a lot to talk about today. This is the Consumer Show where we solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. And one of the things we found over the past several months, there are a lot of people in the Heyman fires that can't rebuild because they're underinsured. And they said, well, we have full replacement value, which you don't understand. Full replacement value means components. The whole house still has a dwelling limit. Your limit might be too low. Compass Insurance Group is doing free insurance checkups. And I'm telling you the truth. It's an objective look at your insurance to see if you got enough coverage and that you're not undercovered, and that if you do have coverage, you're not paying too much for that coverage. Please do it. 303-996-9000. I mean, don't be caught 303-996-9000. Welcome to the show. We're talking about an RV she bought, a fifth wheel, and all the paperwork says 2021, except when they sent her the temp registration, she notices as 2020. Well, it's misrepresented. Now, I don't know if she paid too much for it, because, this could be a breach of contract with no loss, actually. It could be that the RV, she paid a good price, and that whether it's a 20 or 21 makes no difference, but I think it will make a difference. It has to. When people go shopping, there's a mental thing about having a 2021 or a 2020, and when you go to sell it used, she may have some loss of value. I don't even know how to evaluate it, except to tell them they got to do something. Suze, you're talking to Jennifer right now. Can I have her back or not? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. What's going on, Suze? Are you going to get a hold of that president of Cousins?
I was just getting more info, but
Good.
She's on hold now.
Good, because he called the show about another problem, and he sounded pretty sincere about taking care of it. Jennifer, are you satisfied with keeping it if they simply make all the paperwork agree? You don't really care about a loss, right?
Well, I don't. We love the trailer. We want it. But what we want removed, which they told us they would do, is the extra stuff they sold us. The vehicle service contracts, the gap insurance, and the roadside assistance. It's all about $6,000. But, see, I don't think they're a reputable company, and I don't want to have all these services.
I don't think you should. I think you should be able to rewrite that deal the way you want, and we're going to fight for that. We're going to give it to somebody to fight for you, because you're asking for very little compared to the fact that they misrepresented it.
Or their other option is to deliver the 2021 as stated in the paperwork.
Yeah, so let's see what they want to do. Hold on, all right? Let's just see what they want to do. But thanks, Suze. Let's get that. Did you keep his information from Cousins? Good. We have an angel at Cousins. He's the president. He did sound sincere on a previous problem trying to fix that, trying to take care of it. And that was a service-related complaint, as I remember, right?
I think so.
The previous one. Okay. So I also have Rocky Mountain IV Medics, the president, on, Pan McLeod, and I want to touch a few questions we've had about the therapy and the hydration therapy, and then I'll take your calls. Don't hang up, and then we'll come back to her. But Pam, this is really good that you're on, because I have some emails I'd like to address, and this one I get, and I never really know how to address it. Okay. By the way, for those listening, Rocky Mountain IV Medics, they send medical professionals to your home, okay? And they give you hydration therapy, or to your office. They come to my studio. They've met people at truck stops. They've met people at hotel rooms when they're in for conventions or something like that. Altitude sickness, migraines, hangovers, hydration therapy in general for health and wellness. It's a great service. Love it. And I love the fact that you can text or call and they're there. You can get same-hour appointments in many cases. But I want to know how long, somebody asked, if they wanted to do it regularly, how long does it last? And I don't know how to answer that. I wonder how long the hydration part lasts. For example, I don't drink a lot of water, and I love the feeling I get from the hydration, but obviously we're not going to use this as a substitute for drinking water. But I need to know, if we depended on the hydration, how long does that extra hydration last?
That is a question we get a lot, and everybody is so different. Someone who might be, sitting at home, who has an office job that might not be super physical on their day-to-day, they'll probably feel good for maybe up to a week with that boost. Someone who's maybe a construction worker working outside, who's not able to get their hydration in, and then they go to the gym, they may feel good for a couple days, but it really kind of depends on what your average day-to-day consuming of water, plus then what your expenditure of that hydration is.
Now, some people do it for items. They get sick or they need it for one thing or another. But people who do it regularly, how do they normally space it?
I would say in the 3 years I've personally been doing this, most of my clients love to do this monthly.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Great with vitamins and that little boost of hydration. Most clients really do benefit from it monthly. Some like to do it weekly, and we're like, you probably don't need that. If you like it, great. But yeah, I would say monthly is a great option.
All right, that's wonderful. And the distribution method, or should I say dispatching method, are you always able to get to people quickly?
We do our best to try that. It most of the time right now, because we're not seeing as many sick people as we were just a few weeks ago or months ago, we typically try to be to everybody within about 1 to 2 hours.
That's pretty dang cool. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I mean, think about that. How many things can you get in 1 or 2 hours when you call? I mean, I like that idea. All right, so if you can hang, I will ask you a few more questions. I do have some, but I want to get to callers who've been waiting, and I appreciate it very much. 303-713-TALK, by the way, if you have any questions for Rocky Mountain IV Medics. Now, we're working on the wrong RV purchase. Now let's go to Shireen, who said the apartment towed her car. Shireen.
Yes.
Was your car expired or anything? Why did they do it?
Not at all. I don't know. They're telling me, okay, when I moved in the complex, they told us we needed to register our cars or they would get towed. So I registered mine, my husband's, and my daughter's cars. Okay, that's all I knew. They didn't say nothing about no permits or anything. When they do charge for the under canopy, and we got the stickers for our cars for that. But now, and a few months ago,
so wait, you have stickers where you can park your cars under a canopy.
Yes. Now, my sticker fell off, okay? I do have it, but it fell off. I didn't know that. Okay, and I was parked right in the lot. I wasn't under the canopy, which I pay for. We also pay, we were told when we moved in here that it's $8 a month and you can park up to 5 cars. So I registered mine, my husband, and my daughter's cars because she's over quite a bit. That's all I knew about it. Well, a few months ago, they put a yellow or orange sticker on my window because my plates had expired, okay? And I was parked in the lot. I got my plates and everything, so of course nobody wants to get towed. So that was that. I got my stickers. Now,
hold on, Shireen. You
Yes.
got your expired plates redone when they gave you the notice. Tell me why your car was towed. Well, let's get to that part. I'm not sure this history means anything. What was the part about being towed?
Okay. My neighbor called me. I had left on last Monday. I left for California. My husband's a truck driver, so I rode with him.
Okay.
And I called her and I told her I forgot to lock my doors. Lock them. Okay. In the morning, she called me and she said, "Where are you?" And I told her in New Mexico. She said, "Well, where's your car?" My car was gone. Well,
why was it gone though? Why was it towed? It was left outside the canopy, right?
Yes, it was outside of the canopy, which is, like I said, $8 a month to park in the yard, right, in the lot.
But you're paying that. You're paying that too.
Yes. It comes out of my husband's account automatically.
Okay, so you're paying for parking both under the canopy or in the parking lot. Then why were you towed?
That's what I don't know. They're telling me that I did not have a permit to park here. And like I said, months ago when my plates expired, they just put a sticker on my car that I couldn't park here without it being registered, without it being
I understand that part. That part's done. You got the plates. What do they mean you do not have a permit to park there? You're telling me you pay $8 a month.
No idea. Yeah, I have no idea. So these people, you can do nothing. It's Park and Support, and that's who takes the money out of my husband's account. So all you can do is email them. They know, but there's no phone number.
Does your apartment complex, they're the ones responsible. Did they say you have to have a permit? Do other cars have a permit in the window?
They never told us that
I'm not asking, no, see, I didn't ask that. Do other cars in the parking lot have a permit in the window?
Some of them do, yes.
Okay. And those that have permits in the windows are not towed?
I am assuming
Shireen,
no.
But you were never, okay, but you, when you started paying $8 a month to park up to 5 cars, you registered your car, but they never said, by the way, here is your permit.
Never.
Now, do they say, if we call them, is that what they're going to tell us? Or are they going to say, oh, of course we offered a permit and she never came and got them? What will they say?
They'll say they don't give a permit because I had to email them.
If they don't give a permit, then why do some people have permits? Where are they getting them?
From the office.
Okay, that's what I'm asking you. Did the office have a permit for you to pick up?
Only for the under parking, for the covered parking.
But they don't have a permit for out in the parking lot.
No.
Then where do the people parking out there get their permit?
I have no idea. I've been here for almost a year.
You need to help us, because I can't help you if you don't know. You need to talk to someone who has a permit in their window and ask them where they got it. We need to.
Okay, they get it from the office.
Okay.
I do know that. But I emailed the. Okay, go ahead.
Go to your office and ask them why you were never given a permit. Let's find out why.
I went there.
And what did they say?
They don't understand. They don't know what happened. They don't understand. So somebody.
Wait a minute. So you register with a company that's not the office, but the office gives out the permit.
The under parking.
I'm not talking about. I feel like Abbott and Costello. Let's just talk about the parking lot. You're paying $8 a month to park in the parking lot. You've been paying that out of your husband's check, right? Out of his account. You pay that $8. Once you sign up to pay that $8, or those other people sign up, where do they get the permit? At the office. How do they know to get it at the office? Does the company that collect the $8, do they say, by the way, pick up your permit at the office?
No. No.
Then how do the people who pay the $8 a month parked next to you with the permit, how do they get the permit? How do they know?
That is my frustration.
Well, I can't help you, okay? So here's what you need to do, okay? Shireen, we can't tell. You need to know. You absolutely have to find this out for us. We will help you. Ask the person next to you, where did they get the permit? Now, I know what you're going to say. They got it at the office. How did they know to get it at the office? When they registered, did someone tell them to get it at the office? Did an email come and say, pick up your permit at the office? How did they know to get a permit at the office?
Okay, when you move in, they tell you right away, you have to register your cars or they will be towed away. Okay, so that's the first thing I did, was register our cars.
Then
Nobody
why?
ever said nothing about a permit.
But then why do the other people have a permit and you don't?
They're for only the covered parking. I don't know.
Shireen,
and that's what
Shireen, God Almighty, I am going crazy. You just told me that out in the parking lot there are cars that have permits on them, not for under canopy, but for the parking lot.
No, I'm sorry, Tom. They do, but they park out here. I don't know why.
Okay, so the permits the people have in the parking lot, the ones that you see out there, are for the canopy.
Well, that's my understanding now.
All right, hold on. Sure, you know what? It's clear to me we're not going to find out through Shireen what's happening, okay? So we need to call parking management and have them talk to us. We need to ask them a very simple question. How do people know not to be towed? What do they have to do? And why wasn't she given a permit if she's paying $8? And get the name. She says you can't call the parking service. Then how much is this all costing you, Shireen? How much?
$8 a month.
No, I'm talking about the tow. How much did all this tow cost you?
$790.
Did you get your car back?
And some change. Yes.
I would sue the people. Listen,
but she can't pay her rent now.
We're going to help you sue we got to get management on the air. We got to ask them what the hell's going on. At least answer some questions. They have a parking service collecting $8 a month that doesn't communicate with the office, so she gets towed. It makes no sense to me. That $8 a month, is that for the Shireen? Is that $8 a month for under the canopy or for the parking lot?
No, it's for the lot.
Okay. How much do you pay? How much you pay for under the canopy?
Well, he didn't charge us for that. They're telling us it's $35 a month, but nonetheless, I was not parked under the canopy. I was parked in the yard or right
I
here
get
in
it,
the lot.
and you're paying for it. If you're paying for it, you shouldn't have been towed. Who gave the order to tow you?
Pardon me?
Somebody said her sticker fell off. She said her sticker fell off. Is that true?
She said you don't need a sticker to park in the lot.
Yeah.
Then how would they know who's allowed to park?
I have no idea. That's what I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to find out. I swear to God, I feel like I'm in a comedy skit that's not funny, so I'm stopping, okay? We need to find out some very simple questions. How do they control their parking, and why was she towed? So give it to Deputy Smarty Pants. I need to know, how the hell do they must have a system, and did it break down, or did Shireen break the rules? For God's sakes, the poor woman just spent $700, but we don't understand you. We absolutely don't understand you. Now, Suze, is this one about the fifth wheel? I don't understand what's going. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, it's about the fifth wheel. Sorry, I put RV.
Okay, hold on. We'll come right back with more.
I think we hit that break, did we? We didn't hit 15, did we? Okay, thank you. I was like, oh, this is like a fucking nightmare. She was horrible. I think what happened is you were supposed to have it in there, and she lost it, and they towed her vehicle.
Well, she said she never had one.
No, she said stickers only for under the canopy.
She said one came off, and she said she had.
She said it was only for under the canopy. Let's send Jamie out to the ice skate.
Yeah, with
Paragon's come back with your head spin. Retirement Planning Center of the
Rockies is someone everyone can use, whether you have an investment advisor, a reverse loan, or you have an estate plan, or you have something else. No matter what you have, Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies can benefit you. They are a family-owned and operated team of experts with a professional staff that looks over your entire retirement plan and helps you plan even better and get ready for retirement. Yes, they can do investments. They can also help you with insurance and Medicare and long-term care, and they can help you with reducing your taxes. They have a comprehensive approach. They will meet with you as many times as it takes for you to feel comfortable. And then you decide if you want to hire them. There is no obligation to meet with them. They'll come to you. You can go to them. You can do it by Zoom. You can do it as many times as you feel comfortable. They're totally transparent about how they make money and how they charge you, and it will always save you money. 970-663-3211, 970-663-3211, rpcenter.com. Frank Duran, the real estate man.com, does complimentary valuations of your property to see what it will bring on the market based on today's inventory, on comparables, on your neighborhood, and whatever other factor is important. And it's free of charge with his professionalism. And of course, there's no obligation to list, but if you do list with Frank, you won't find anyone better, a master negotiation expert. That's Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
You know, it's sad that these people that sell you homeowners insurance and commercial policies, they're not there to help you. You want to protect that biggest asset, you have to have insurance. But if you ever have a claim, maybe a hailstorm or a fire or any claim whatsoever, the adjuster they send out is not your friend. They're not working for you. You need someone on your side. That's Matt with Paragon Services. I want you to give him a call with any claim on your homeowners. He can generally get you double. And I'm not kidding. 719-726-0020, Matt Paragon Services, on our referral list at referralist.com.
When you're sick, injured, or experiencing an urgent...
Let's see here. Okay, here's what I think. I think she didn't have a sticker of some sort or something hanging from the window, and they towed her car. Yep. I don't think there's much more to it. But her argument is, I did pay for it, but I lost the sticker, or it fell out, or whatever happened. I don't think it's fair they towed me. And I agree with her. But it is what it is.
So are you going to be able to call the management company and get them to...
Someone is already. Marty or somebody. Doc, I was going to text you to see if you wanted to hit some balls last night. It was the absolute worst I've ever done at Topgolf.
Really?
Yeah, but then I found out finally maintenance came over. I had 20 shots and my points were 0. It didn't matter what I hit, where it went in, I got nothing. But I didn't really even care because, I mean, I can see myself.
Did you go with your son?
Yeah. But he was, I was going to see if you wanted to play an hour before he showed up. But he got out early, so I was like, fuck it. It was a nice day, too, man, for Topgolf.
Sound familiar?
I do love it. We played a new one, Closest to the Hole. You played that?
I haven't.
I don't. It's more computerized. That's the only reason I don't like it. It shows you almost like a video game.
Yeah.
And it'll say shoot towards the yellow. And then it's the closest to the yellow pin, but you're looking at a hole like a golf course hole on the computer. So it's like the computer overlay. It's kind of, I don't know.
Instead of the trappings around the hole, right?
Yeah.
Call now, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800.
I learned about Topgolf though. There's two ways they score at this one in Centennial. Well, the main one they score on is the ball literally falling into wherever it goes.
Right.
The secondary method that they use in most places is the computer calculates where that ball is going to go and land, and it actually shows you on the TV.
Oh.
That's all fake, though. That's purely a calculation. So a lot of times it might show the ball going into something, and you have no score. That's because the ball literally didn't go in there. You just thought it did because of the video replay.
That's weird.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Some of them use one method, some use both methods, but there's only one primary method at each place.
I'm Fox 31 weather team meteorologist Kylie Burke. I bought football tickets for my husband's birthday, and now I'm in a football bubble. All I see online are articles and ads about football. I hate feeling manipulated. I downloaded DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away.
DuckDuckGo's killing themselves.
Why?
They're starting to do what the other ones are. They're starting to bury content. They're starting to do what they are not supposed to do.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. By the way, Vic has a comment on that RV. Go ahead, Vic. What is your comment on that RV that was a 2020 instead of a 2021, even though the contract said differently?
I had the same thing happen to me up there at Lazy Days. I purchased a 2020 RV, or at least I thought I purchased a 2020. And all the paperwork said 2020, the title says 2020. When I was trying to get some warranty parts, I called the company and gave them the VIN number. They said, no, yours is not a 2020, it's a 2019. So I purchased what I thought was a 2020 camper, and it was actually a 2019.
And what did you do about it?
I haven't done anything about it, Tom, because it was over a year and a half.
I found out something. Okay, I purchased an RV one time, and the frame was built and stamped. That carried the VIN number. They built the coach. The coach was whatever year it was. I think it was a 98. And it was a 97 according to the VIN, but it was a 98. They built it, manufactured, they trimmed it out, built it in 20. And I think the years are less important than the actuality of the situation, but each manufacturer does it differently. But listen, we need to research this and figure out how we can handle it. Pam McLeod is the president of Rocky Mountain IV Medics. She said, hydration in an IV can last several days or a few days, depending on your lifestyle. She says the benefits, however, the vitamins and all of that can last up to a month, and many people do it monthly. And, of course, other people do it when they need it. And when do people need it? People ask me, when do I call Rocky Mountain IV Medics, Tom? I mean, I'm not that sick. Here's the point about hydration. You don't have to be that sick. You don't have to be anything. It's something you can do just for a boost. Now, what do most people do? Pam, are you getting people who are sick or people doing it specifically for a condition or for general health?
We typically see mostly sick people or people who need a little bit of medical intervention, but the only place they can get that medical intervention is an ER. But they don't necessarily need an ER. So if you have a stomach flu,
right?
Small things like that.
And that's true. You can be dehydrated. It can really hurt you. And rather than go to an ER, extraordinarily expensive, you can have the IV therapy, which most likely that's all they do in these cases anyway, or maybe give you Zofran or something. But What do you have for stomach flu or for food poisoning, or do you have anti-nausea medicine? How far can you go with the hydration?
Yeah, so we have a couple different medications that we can use for nausea, also help reduce that stomach acid, plus give you a little bit of hydration. We do weight-based calculations to make sure we're not giving you too much, but a simple liter can go a long way in most people who are dehydrated from vomiting or other symptoms of a stomach bug.
Okay, so you can help with a lot of conditions, and a doctor doesn't have to prescribe it, is what you're saying. Many of these things are over the counter and better delivered intravenously.
Actually, everything that we do is under a doctor's order. So we have a board-certified physician, yes, that has given us our protocols to treat a wide variety of clients in their home. That is why so we do a full medical assessment to make sure that we're treating you safely in the home. We will get your vital signs, discuss your medications you take, making sure there's no interactions with anything we're doing that you have. So we are fully controlled by a physician.
That's wonderful. And I should have known that because I get it, and they do ask me they always ask me certain questions, so I should have gotten that. I want to know as far as in-home COVID testing, you still doing that?
Yes, we are still doing in-home COVID testing, and we're still treating anybody with a viral illness in their home, making sure that we're protecting them as much as we're protecting ourselves.
And overall, hydration for a virus, let's say, whether it be COVID or any other virus, why does it help?
One of the things, fluids are meant to be in our body, and they're meant to help our body function the way it's supposed to be. So when you've got that really bad virus where you're not feeling good, you're breathing through your mouth, your nose is so congested, you can just kind of over dehydrate yourself from one, breathing so much out of your mouth and you're just wasting all that fluid, but you're also not drinking, you're sleeping, you're feeling terrible. So getting a little bit of hydration just kind of helps your body function the way it's meant to function, which helps your immune system do what it needs to do.
All right, and that is Pam McLeod, president of Rocky Mountain IV Medics. The number is 720-987-2155. You can text or call that number. If you have any questions, you can call us now while she's on. She'll be on till the top of the hour, 720-987-2155.
I'm sorry I'm so screwed up today, man. I am just off when it comes to time.
For music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Now, impact traffic.
You have fun with the kids this weekend, Tom?
Protect your privacy for free.
Yes, I did actually. Yeah.
You went anything exciting with them, or?
No, but Bonnie had to work. So he worked night shift, so it was hard to have to bring him there. But anyway,
what kind of night shift they have at Coldstone?
6 to 11.
Oh, it's open till 11
and he
o'clock?
said it was a constant stream of people the entire night.
Wow.
Constant.
People like Coldstone.
Yeah.
It's also a warm day.
Sunny skies today and through tomorrow with snow returning into the forecast midweek. 53 for a high today, even warmer
Hey,
Tuesday.
Rick, what's up?
67.
Hey, how many do we have tonight?
I got a
Oh, we have 8 plus the dealer.
I feel like
All right,
I'm
we'll
being
see you at 3.
bombarded by a pair of headphones. Everywhere I go is a creepy ad for headphones I've looked at one time. I hate that feeling like I'm being watched. I downloaded DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. Take back your privacy online with DuckDuckGo.
I understand the RV.
All right, listen, when it comes to personal injury, we always have so many questions. We're in an accident. We start asking people, hey, what do you think I should do? Don't do that. Just call an attorney. John Fuller is a personal injury attorney who will give you free legal advice with no obligation. But, of course, if you do hire him, I don't think you can do better because he gives you his cell phone number and keeps in personal touch with you because he has a firm that believes in treating people individually. You're not just a number. It is a small firm by design to help people in their personal injuries. Call for free legal advice at 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500, personalinjuryco.com. If you're looking for carpet cleaning, Zero Res, that's the one I use at my home. Why do I use them? Well, first of all, because of zero residue. That means no dirt attracting soap, chemicals, or emulsifiers. That means my carpets dry faster, stay clean longer, and they look like new with a patented scrubbing technique along with patented water. That's all it is. patented, empowered water. But don't think that's nothing. That's a lot. We're talking about super soft, alkaline-based water that gets out all of the dirt, debris, and pathogens, and your carpets, as I say, dry faster and stay clean longer. ZeroResDenver.com. 3-room areas, just $99 for their special. Do as many more as you want, but 3-room areas, $99. 303-471-5150. 303-471-5150.
Taxes could be your biggest expense in retirement. Don't send more money to
the IRS than you have to. I'm Linda Gardner with Blue Heron Capital.
I understand the RV stuff now.
I'm going to tell you something. The IRS doesn't give a shit about income. They care about 1099 reporting. I have oil and gas, and I got in trouble because I did a lump sum report of all my royalties. And the IRS said, you didn't claim this one, they got this one, or these 3 or 4 that had 1099 in them. But if you add them up,
They want you to do it individually?
They're inside the lump sum, right? And here's what's crazy. The fucking 1099s they match to me are less than I reported. So, all they want, my accountant says all they want is the 1099s. And so if somebody, in other words, they're asking me to report less.
Or else they want to list it individually, right?
Well, then reporting less.
Yeah.
Because there are some I didn't get 1099 for, I still reported.
Pardon me, before I could call the Cousins RV guy, he called in. So their employees must listen. So he's on, and I have the original caller on line 7, so she can listen in.
We may want to get this guy, I mean, unless
I
they're
know.
a bad place.
And then Mark, you called and said you had some info, a question about Wordle. Can 2 letters, same like be used in this? So it could be, I don't know.
It could be like one they do was add
I get it 100%.
Oh,
that was one.
Oh, so a letter can be used twice in a word.
Yeah,
okay, I didn't know. I didn't know. Okay. That damn Wordle. Yeah.
You know, would you tell her, listen.
Yes, I got today. Don't Mark didn't get it.
Really easy.
Listen, I don't know what so-and-so promises can, but Michael Brown did a fucking hour.
I know. I told her that you would be weaving her in just for a couple of little chit chats. So are you done with her, or
no, I'll do it one more.
Okay. And then if you want to mention it, they're in on Thursday to needle you. Okay.
Fucking lines.
Okay, but President of Cousin RV.
When I have a guest, see, the lines are empty right in the beginning.
Right. Now it's overwhelmed.
Now I'm overwhelmed, and I got her, right? I got to work, and then I have you, right? But she'll be gone at the top of the hour. We have another 2 hours, but it's just amazing to me how that works. It's never, it either rains or pours. I mean, no, excuse me, drought or pour. What? Murphy's Law. And I get so nervous because I have people that need help, and I want to get to them. I really do.
Well, it's a pretty noble calling. I think you guys do really good work for folks. No doubt about it.
Even if you refinance in the last
year, I can't figure out.
But then it also reminds me how stupid people can be.
You can save up to thousands of dollars a year. This amazing
rate how stupid people can be.
And our new fast loan process can get it done.
It can be kind of stupid.
So call today for 844-425-3669. That's 844-425-3669. 844-425-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind.
What troubles me is the woefully
But isn't that most people?
An iHeartRadio station.
Well, in certain things, most people. Yep.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I want to get right to Mark. Mark, you say that you understand the RV problem. She bought an RV. The contract and everything, including bill of sale, said 2021. But when she got her temporary title, it said 2020.
Yeah, so it could be a DMV issue. Here's how they work. The chassis could be bought up to 2 years
Exactly.
before.
That's happened to me.
Then when the manufacturer or the builder finishes the box, they put another VIN on the side of it. The one on the side is going to be the 2021, where in her case the chassis was a year old.
You remember I bought that.
Happens all the time.
I bought that bus that had a Prevost frame. That Prevost was built in 96 or 97, and they called it a 98 coach.
Yep.
And it was a 98 coach for all intents and purposes. But here's what I like, actually. Jim Humble, the president of Cousins RV in Colorado here, he heard a problem, what was it, last week, the week before, and called in on his own. And he called in on this one. We were going to call him. Before we could call, he called in on his own. So I really like that. I'm going to let him up right now. Jim, did we describe properly what can happen with years of RVs?
Hey, I appreciate you having me on. What you described actually does happen quite often. In this case, that's not what happened here.
Oh, okay. What happened here? Thank you. What happened here?
I would love to say that is exactly what happened, but that's not the case. So what happened here is when we took this unit in, it was a used unit. It was just booked in wrong, and so indeed it wasn't actually a 2020. It was sold to them as a 21. When they realized this, it was just missed through our system. And when they called us and notified us, we looked into it, and indeed they were right. It was a 2020. We told them that we would refund the complete deal if they wanted just to get their money back and not do the deal. We told them we could do that if that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to, now again, this is coming from one of my managers.
Well, Jennifer's on right now listening. All she said was she wanted to take, Jennifer, you wanted to take the extended warranty and all that off of it?
Correct.
Correct. Yep. And so I think you were talking to Eric Smith, one of my managers there, and Eric had said that, listen, if the loan funds, because it was into the bank, we can re-sign contracts, but if the loan is funded, then we can certainly still do all the cancellations. It would just go, the credit would go to the loan.
Right. There's nothing wrong with that. She would owe less, right, Jennifer?
Right. That's exactly fine with me if that's what happens.
And Jim, since you seem to be totally you really do, by the way, and I appreciate you calling in, and you seem to be transparent here. I want to ask something. Did they pay prices reflective of 20 or 21, or is that impossible to say in today's market because of the increased prices?
Listen, I think when you talk about two model years that are right there, the difference in price is next to nothing. Now, with that being said, we told her if she wanted a generator or some solar, I think Jacob had talked to her about possibly giving her some accessories for her problem.
Okay.
And Jacob had not heard back from her on that. And I believe she has all the cancellation forms and everything to sign those.
Well, Jennifer, it sounds to me like they're bending over backwards.
Well, you know what? We have all the paperwork and we signed it and sent it back, but the loan's still funded as a 2021. So I am totally confused.
Here's the thing. That part doesn't matter. They're going to get you the credit you want on the loan balance. It really doesn't matter. I don't think the bank cares. They care about value more than they do a model year at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want, they can probably...
That is true. That is true, but they'll need to make sure that paperwork gets put in there, and I'll follow up with my team to make sure, because the VIN number is still the VIN number. The VIN number really reflects the year of the coach anyway. The VIN number gives a certain digit will determine what year it actually is.
And Cougars are good RVs, Jennifer. They're good.
Yeah.
They're a great name. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we love the RV.
Okay. And listen, Jim, I really appreciate you caring about this and calling in on your own when you hear problems. And again, when I say problems, we've had two, and out of the thousands of transactions, I don't think that's probably a big deal. But thank you, Cousins RV President Jim Humble. All right, so Beatrice, this sounds serious. Your home is in foreclosure. What the heck's going on?
Well, about a year and a half ago, I received a call from this company called Home Matters USA.
Yeah.
And they said they were like a government program.
Oh, no.
They'd be able to help me.
Was your home, Beatrice, when you got this call, was your home in foreclosure?
No, it was not.
Then why did you entertain the call? What about the call intrigued you?
The fact that they said that they were going to try to help me lower my interest rate and my mortgage payment.
Okay, hold on, dear. Hold on. This sounds like I'm hoping you don't. Just hang on. There are a lot of these services that call and they make it sound like they're with the government and they end up ripping you off. So hang on, Beatrice.
People. This is going to be a horror story, you can tell.
Traffic is slow on I-70 westbound. Two right lanes are closed.
Possibly the government. You know what they're just
bullshit. Of course.
On the highway, and it's backing up traffic now to the Quebec Northfield exit. So just watch for that. I-25.
I mean, how do these people sleep at night? Just
fuck. You know what? I've asked my fucking self that for years and years. That's why. See, here's the problem. I'm a little better, but I used to get fucked up when I was younger. It really gave me anxiety when I would have problems I couldn't solve, and I knew someone got fucked. It just burned me up. And now I have to put it away or I go fucking crazy. Like, some of these things are just wrong. And like, I feel like Mark has experienced it too. Like, we've had people who fucking quit claiming their house to somebody thinking they were helping them out of foreclosure, and then the son of a bitch comes and kicks them out. I want to fucking kill him. I don't know what to do.
Remember that lady a couple of weeks ago whose daughter or niece?
All right, let's talk about BlakeHarrisLaw.com. It's estate planning at its best, because Blake Harris is not only an expert, but he will give you expert legal advice on the phone free of charge. Just call 833-ASK-BLAKE. Ask your questions. Do you need a trust? Do you need a will? Do you need a beneficiary's deed? A payable on death certificate? Protect your heirs from lawsuits and creditors. Call him first, then he charges flat rates for what he does. Quoted up front. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE. You know what's coming up on the 17th? Anybody want to take a guess? St. Paddy's Day. Now listen, I don't want to make light of drinking, but that's what a lot of you are going to do. And don't make the mistake of trying to calculate. Let's see, I had 2 drinks, I had a drink, I had some popcorn, maybe that absorbs some. Don't do it, seriously. And don't trust those handheld breathalyzers. They don't work. What I want you to do is not drink and drive, and I'm serious about it. So why do I advertise for a criminal defense attorney who defends people who get DUIs? Here's why. You can never go through the system alone accurately. You're going to lose your license. You're going to have some consequences, maybe. But Joe can help minimize them. He can help you get into a program if you need it, or if you were falsely accused. The bottom line is this. Don't shop for an attorney when you're in trouble. I did the shopping for you. You can trust Joe Lazzara. 303-429-6200. Free initial consultations. 303-429-6200. Flat rate pricing. 303-429-6200. Do you want to get a price right now on the phone? How many times can you do that? You can't most of the time, except with theartofgranite.com. Call Mitch and say, hey, I'm putting in a kitchen countertop. What will it cost? I'm doing this. I'm doing that. He'll give you a price. Why? Because his way of doing business is simple. Wholesale on all materials. Tear out and haul away's free. The bathroom vanity's free when you do the kitchen. And he gives prices on the phone. Theartofgranite.com. That's 303-386-5919. 386-5919. I don't know how I'm mustering up this energy, because I really had my fucking ass kicked this weekend. My kids do knock the shit out of me. You know what? Somebody said, Tom, don't have kids late in life, and they were so fucking right. They were so right. Here's the only benefit to having kids late in life. I can get my kid. I ordered Bonnie's car, by the way. You know what he's getting? Tesla 3, dual motor Tesla 3 with self-driving. And I told them.
I thought they all came with that, no?
No. Hold on. That's a big add-on.
Is it? I didn't know that.
No, they all come with autopilot. And you know what? Autopilot is just as good as self-driving. Self-driving, you know why? You can't use it legally, okay? But they have it for when you can use it. Do you know what, though? You know what autopilot does, Mark? Your car's parked.
It comes and gets you.
It'll fucking come and
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome. He presses the key fob and it comes. I told him, you never use it. No, there are certain things I'm having disabled. Because he'll show up with his friends and shit.
Did you order it, or is it?
It's coming in May.
Oh, okay. So I was guessing it's like a 2-month wait for it.
Yeah. And it's not a. And by the way,
fucking did away with the federal credit. I don't get that 10 or 12 grand.
I wonder why.
Because the fucking, okay, you want to know why? Republicans did away. No, Republicans did away with it. Not Democrats. Democrats have it in the Build Back Better. So I want to give Build Back Better. But anyway, you get $2,500 from the state.
Wait, do you get the big battery?
Yes. Extended range. It's a nice car. But since it's twice as much as his sister's car, he's got to help pay for it.
How much was it? 60?
Oh.
What?
So how do they beat the crap out of you this weekend?
Just they stay up late. You want to watch movies.
But do they want to watch movies with you or
Yeah,
just with me? Hey, you know what?
In my bedroom, because I had the big bed and then we had the big TV.
Tom, pay the price because those days are effing awesome.
The best. I know.
And if they're teenagers,
And my
they're still
daughter
talking to
wanted
you.
me to watch her show, and it's the most dreadful fucking show.
What is it?
Euphoria is the worst
Love
show. You love it?
Fucking love
Euphoria. There's no fucking story.
Love it.
Fucking misery.
Sorry, bro.
Sex and drugs. What do you love about it?
It's fucking great.
Tell me what you love about it.
It's just
there's
fucking great.
Good acting. What else?
I don't know. I just love
There's not a moment of happiness.
I like trauma like that.
Not a moment of fucking happiness.
One thing after another.
Hey, were you guys the one who sent out
the same thing?
Maid?
He didn't like Game of Thrones. Oh, I love Maid.
But man,
talk about
I'm going to be honest.
Except the very bottom.
I'm going to be honest with you with the king.
Szechuan says that he got the credit.
Were you talking about
what? A federal credit?
He said he gave it to his tax attorney. His tax attorney.
Yeah, we got last year.
Yeah, last year. There's no fucking. I wish there was.
What about now, Juan?
No, there's no tax credit. They would know. They would know. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
John, listen, man, we're getting an attorney on to talk about your trust in real estate, okay? I just want you to know we're working on it, okay?
Okay.
Say, hang on there, bro. And then Patricia, I know that this is serious, and I'm not going to forgo. We're getting our reverse expert on, okay? So you hang on. I want you to know we're working on it. Patricia? Are you there?
All right.
All right, thank you. And then Beatrice, we're working on yours. I want to go to Pam. She only has until the top of the hour here, and I want to finish up with Rocky Mountain IV Medics. Now, Pam, how the pricing, people ask about the pricing, and I say it's about as much as you'd pay for IV therapy at an IV bar. It's no more. I know that. I even found in some cases you are cheaper.
Yes, you're very correct about that.
So why? People want to know, how do you go to someone's house for a low price? Are you trying to upsell them? And I said, no, I never got that impression. There is no upselling.
Really not. We walk into your house and we want to know how we can make you feel better. There are stuff that we have that, depending on what you have going on, we don't want to give that to you in that moment. Maybe
exactly.
Another day would be. Yeah, just want to make whatever symptoms you have, how can we help you in the moment that we're there?
And I have one email. They want to know if they can do it for their children. And I don't know why. They didn't say why. But do you do young people?
We do, as long as they're over the age of 10 and willing. I've been a pediatric nurse for a very long time. Sometimes a 10, 11, 12-year-old might be very hard to get them to be okay with an IV. But as long as we can talk with your child and get them through it and they have, a clean medical history, yeah, we can treat children 10 and up.
Okay, someone else wanted to know, if they have medication that is taken intravenously, prescribed by a doctor, can you administer it along with the IV?
No, it has to be only what we are allowed under our physician to administer. So if someone is going through home health therapy and they've got IV antibiotics, we will not have anything to do with that.
That's very, very good to know. And on the timing, do you always get there that quickly? I mean, people say, should I wait to call? Like if I don't need them until, this is exactly what the email says. If I'm not going to need someone till 6, do I wait till 5 to call or what? Because I always tell them they can get them within an hour, but I think the earlier the better anyway, right?
Absolutely. But at the same time, you can call in and ask for an ASAP appointment, which is our soonest provider available. Or you can actually book an exact time that you want us out. And we do our best to meet your exact time. And sometimes just depending on your area or provider availability, we do our best to meet the time that you request. So if you want 6 p.m., you can book us at 8 a.m. or even a few days before. And you can book the time that you.
Can you book with this other email? Can we book regular appointments?
Absolutely. And what you can do is when a provider comes out, if you enjoyed your experience with that provider, which is usually what happens, everyone's like, oh my gosh, I want them back. You can actually call that provider directly and you two can work it out on when they see you again. You don't always have to book with us. So we have a lot of our nurses and paramedics who have their regular clients that they see on a routine basis and they just handle it themselves.
Okay. And then another question quickly by text. Where is your service area? This person is in Fort Collins.
Oh, yeah. So we do serve Fort Collins. We have people in Denver, Colorado Springs, all the way to Pueblo and into Grand Junction.
Thank you. Now, that is Rocky Mountain IV Medics, 720-987-2155. Same-day appointments, same-hour appointments. Text or call 720-987-2155.
Hey, were you the guys that were talking about inventing Anna?
So I want to get Blake Harris. I want to get Blake Harris for.
I know he's available in 15.
And Patricia, I want to get one of our reverse. Maybe we don't even need him, but just and we let's give the new guy.
Mark.
Yeah.
Were you watching Inventing Anna? Were you talking about it?
What's it about?
Oh no, so someone was mentioning it.
I was watching it. Tom was watching it.
Oh, it was Tom. Okay.
I do like that one he hates. Euphoria.
So Tom, you were talking about Inventing Anna, right?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I did kind
The
of.
only thing
I mean, it's kind of slow. Here's what was wrong with it. It's the same old shit after the first few episodes. It's her scamming people and saying, my father will have the wild at any time, and it's always the same shit.
But you know what got me? Her accent was driving me crazy.
It's like that's what
it's a phony accent.
It's not German, it's
No,
not English, it's not anything. No, I know, we didn't understand it.
Yeah. But at first
but that's how the real woman
I didn't recognize her.
I know.
At first when
it's our Ozark lady.
Yeah, but with the hair and with the brown, when I first saw her, I didn't recognize her. She really is good.
Mark, did you see Inventing Anna?
I don't think so.
I don't know if you'd like it. You might.
I think you would.
Tin Star, by the way, I finished it.
It's crazy.
It's shit. It's fucking really weird.
That is one.
And it concluded to where it wouldn't need another season. But
insane show. I like that. It's not going to come.
That's with Elvis Alba?
No.
Different one?
Tin Star, it's called. I like that guy, by the way, that black English actor. He is fucking fantastic. He did a series one time I really loved. In fact,
Wire.
No, he wasn't in Wire. He was.
Interest was Interest was the top dog
in Wire.
Yes.
I didn't even really. He didn't even have an accent.
Interest is smooth.
No. Then he.
Which one?
Idris Elba.
No, but he played a cop in another one that was
in London.
Yeah.
Yes. That's called.
Do you know what I thought? But when people were asking about fucking James Bond, he should be. And they were looking for he would have been the greatest fucking James Bond. I think they're gonna make some chick.
They brought him up though as one of the.
He would have been the perfect James
Idris Elba?
Bond. Yeah,
I think so.
He's smooth as glass. Woo, that boy.
No, I love him. And he should have been James Bond. I don't know who they're going to make, but I have a feeling from the last movie they're going to make it that chick who they designated 007.
Well, they can't do that. She could be 006 or 008. She can't be 007.
Yeah, well, they designated her 007.
That's crazy.
It made me pissed off.
She can't be James Bond. It just won't fly, right?
What are they going to call her?
Exactly.
James
Make her whatever it is, make her 008 or 006 and give her a different name. She can't be a female James Bond.
Because isn't James Bond a code name?
No.
That's his real name?
Yeah.
His real name is James Bond?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's probably a code name, but even so.
No.
It's
in the books, that's his name.
Okay.
Commander James.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just sacrilegious to make a woman James Bond.
Zoo.com/phone system.
Well.
How the world connects. At the United States Postal Service, we deliver with advanced technology and equipment.
So, with that order that I put in, that I still haven't got, what's up with that?
We got back ordered, and then we went through to make it right around Christmas time, and the potencies were off. So we have to go back and remake it. So it'll be cleared next week.
So it'll eventually catch up with
Yeah. So we've been working on solidifying our operations so that we can run into those issues. So as a I'm sorry gift, that's what those tickets
I
are.
appreciate it.
Sure. And we've been trying to give people other products to get them through so we get the thing up and ready. But it's one thing that I can say that we're really good at is not releasing product unless it meets quality standards.
Not only to fight, but also because they realize that
that's what the sales guy explained. He says we're having some problems with the gel caps, so I'm going to say he sent me a bottle
or to go back to a country that is at war, but one that is also their home.
Drops in the entry. And then I got one bottle of the soft gels. One order of the soft gels. Oh man, they're going to cut me open. For what? For my back.
Really?
You know this tow car?
I'm using your spine.
On the towed car, now it's getting cold.
I try everything before.
So see, it did work. See how cold it got in here?
Yeah, it works.
I have tried it. Physical therapy, all.
You know, my childhood friend, he's a lot heavier than you are.
You told me about the vertebra.
Yeah. Did you talk to your doctor about it?
I sure did. He says that won't help you.
What were you call? What kind of surgery?
It's a spacer. It's an outpatient procedure that you actually put in. It's supposed to help keep your vertebra separated.
Well, why the fuck would that help you?
The doctor that I'm dealing with says
an in-home device.
No. I'll see if I can pull it up for you.
I would get that. I mean, I'm getting.
I looked it up and.
It's only for herniated, or can it work just as over?
I don't know, Tom. I think it'll work for herniated discs as well, or just degenerative.
I don't have any herniated. I don't have any. I just have normal degeneration. And I say normal. It's arthritic. I don't know how normal arthritis is, but it's 68.
I've heard mine described as cotton candy by.
That's exactly what I had. And I had that. That's why I went and had surgery. They scraped it out. Is that what they're doing for you? It's called a fratonectomy. They clean out the holes where your nerves are, right?
I'll find out.
Cotton candy is exactly what they called mine.
You mean how it looks on X-ray?
Yes, that's right. Because your discs, your facets are growing, are cartilage like.
Yeah, they're fuzzy.
Call my friend today, Gabe Ribble, at 833-453.
Yeah, my friend, man, he actually had a back surgery that went wrong. He's been in chronic pain on an opiate pump for forever.
You know, I'm telling you something here. We are literally just watching them be taken over. We know how it's going to end. Russia's going to take them over.
Yeah.
So why don't they just get it over with? And because we are not doing anything about it.
Well, what can we do? We're going to draw the line at NATO, and Putin is not going to. If one single country is giving them this much trouble, can you imagine what NATO would do to the Russian army?
I don't know.
They would annihilate them. If you have one little country giving you this much trouble, well, you know what I'm saying.
Oh. Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. WaterPros.net will get you the best water at the lowest prices anywhere. WaterPros.net. And I love these guys. By the way, I talked about their their water fountain, you know, the spigot you can put at the kitchen sink for pure drinking water. Well, guess what? You can do a whole house softening system for under $2,000. Now, the drinking fountain is under $1,000. Never buy bottled water again. The whole house system for better plumbing, better laundry, better skin, and better water is under $2,000 fully installed. 303-862-5554, waterpros.net. Let's keep going. Now, we are talking about a number of problems here, and we're going to get our experts on, like Blake Harris, attorney at law, for John. John, go ahead. What's going on with you, John? Welcome.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
So we have an ongoing situation here. The most recent problem we're having is that it looks like my sibling is paying the taxes on the property for our parent.
Now, is your parent still in the house?
Yes.
Okay. So, is there a will?
Well, the situation, one parent passed away a couple of years ago. There's a will and a trust. Now, the problem is the house is not connected to that will or trust. It's connected to the surviving parents' will and trust.
I get it. But I want to try to get an accurate picture here. And here, I want to just try to get an accurate picture. And I have Blake Harris, attorney at law, listening. He's an estate attorney. He's our expert. So, your one parent passed away. The other parent is now living. Is that a mom or dad?
A mom.
Okay. So, your mom's alive. Does she have a will or a trust, or is there a will or a trust in place?
Well, there are two separate wills and two separate trusts, one for each parent.
Were they separated?
No.
Oh, I don't understand that, but okay, go ahead. So then, what was the father's trust when he died? What was in the father's trust when he died?
His personal assets.
Was your let me ask you this: was your father's estate settled?
I suppose it was. However, we're still having an ongoing conflict over the trust.
Over the dad's trust or the mom's trust?
The dad's trust.
What was in the dad's trust?
His financial assets.
What was his house in there?
No.
Okay, assets. And you're still having what issue are you having with the dad's trust?
Being the trustee. It was originally set up to be co-trustees, but I was kicked out.
And what is your brother doing right or wrong with that trust that you know of?
At the moment, nothing with the trust itself.
Okay. Now let's go to your mom's trust and will. Are you having problems there?
No. Not with the trust itself, but with the property taxes for the house.
Now, is the house in the trust?
Yeah, the house is in our mom's trust.
Okay. Now, is your brother is paying? Why is your brother paying the real estate taxes on it?
He's not supposed to be paying the taxes because our father's trust was written so that if our father passed away first, then the money from there would be used to pay for the taxes and insurance.
So why is your brother doing it?
Well, my brother has a ridiculous amount of animosity towards not only me, but our mother.
But why would he be paying her taxes? I don't get it. What?
Well, the reason why is I think my brother's thinking that after paying taxes for a number of years, my brother will be able to take the property.
Okay, but what does the trust say that owns the house?
Well, the trust that owns the house, I'm not sure what it would say about...
Does it say if brother pays taxes, he gets to keep the house?
No.
Okay, then why does brother think if he pays property taxes, he gets to keep the house?
Well, I don't know what my brother is thinking, but what I have read is that maybe in Colorado or other states that if somebody is paying property taxes after a number of years, they eventually get to claim the property as their own.
They do if it's a tax lien and they buy the. I mean, are you saying he's paying them for her, or is he buying the tax certificate for unpaid taxes? Is he purposely not paying the taxes through the other trust in order to do a tax lien where he's buying the tax lien and plans to own it? Is that what he's doing?
Well, I'm not exactly sure what he's doing because I'm not having any communication with him.
This is terrible.
He's on radio silent. But
okay, so where's your mom's home?
Well, we're in Douglas County.
Okay, you can look it up to see if there's tax liens that were purchased.
Okay, so far there are no tax liens. But what is very what
were there tax? Okay, maybe it's the wrong term.
Name is on it.
Were there tax certificates purchased by him, or did he just pay the taxes for her?
No, the taxes were paid with his name on it.
I don't even understand what that means. I'm going to get Blake Harris on, but listen, John, let me explain something to you, okay? There's two ways to pay taxes for somebody, all right? One is you go, Mom, here's the money to pay the taxes. Or I write the check and say, Mom, I just paid your taxes, so they're paid. The other way to do it is to wait for the county to sell the tax certificate because she's not paying them. And then I buy that tax certificate. And then if I do it for a period of 5 years, I apply for a treasury's deed. And I own the house. Okay? If he's purposely trying to set that up. But you don't have any clue. So you called about a question. What's your question?
Well, that was my question. Would my brother be able to pay the taxes and then eventually claim the property?
If he is buying the tax certificates, not if he's paying the taxes. Okay, if he pays the taxes for her as a favor and wants to be paid back out of the estate, he's not going to automatically own the home. If he is buying the tax certificates, the taxes are being paid, but he now holds a certificate. And if he holds it for 5 years, he can apply for a treasury's deed. But then I'm sure Blake Harris would have something to say on that because he's in charge of another trust that's supposed to be paying the taxes. So he would literally be derelict in his trustee duties on purpose, allowing that home to generate tax certificates that are being purchased by him individually so he can own the house out and get it's ridiculous. I mean, is that what's happening? Do you know, is the trust paying those taxes as they should be paid? Or is your brother paying the taxes? And is he buying their certificates or paying the taxes? Blake doesn't know this. He can't give you an answer unless he knows how he's paying the taxes. I mean, Blake, weigh in on this. I'll shut up. Just weigh in on it.
Tom, I think you were spot on when you made the comment that it sounds like one action of his as trustee is in conflict with another duty of his as a trustee. And if so, he should be removed as trustee of the other trust if he's neglecting his duty or doing nefarious things in order to try to basically steal the property away from you, who I assume is a beneficiary, still a beneficiary of the trust, even if you've been removed as trustee. So, I mean, I'd be scrutinizing his other actions. I imagine you have a copy of both trusts, get both trusts to an attorney, have them look it over, and they'll tell you what your rights are. And if your brother is improperly managing a trust, he should be removed as trustee.
Hey, are you? Who's the trustee of your mom's trust?
I'm not sure at the moment because of our conflict. It was originally going to be us as co-trustees, but because of the conflict, she's changing her mind because that's just not going to work.
Who's changing?
Our mother is changing her mind about.
Is your mother in favor of him?
No, because he has a ridiculous amount of animosity, not only towards me but also towards our mother.
Here's the thing: your mom is the trust revocable?
I'm not sure if this one is.
God, you really don't have any information, John. I mean, you have zero information. I mean, you need to know if it's revocable or non-revocable. Because if it's revocable, she can just say who's trustee. She can go in and modify it right now and say, I want John to be the trustee. I don't want the other son.
Then if that's the case, then it sounds like it is revocable.
Well, I don't know. Blake, am I wrong? Can you change a non-revocable trustee?
In certain circumstances, yes. But
it
not
depends
always.
on what the trust actually says, because the
Where is the
itself will
trust?
lay out the rules for whether somebody can be a
John,
trustee or not.
where's the trust?
I haven't seen my other copy of her trust.
So you don't have. You have.
It should be. It was very similar to our father's trust.
Where physically is it? If you wanted to read it, where is it?
At the moment, I don't know.
Okay, so you asked a question, could your brother maneuver it to pay the taxes and take over the property? The answer is yes. You got your answer. But there are so many ifs, ands, or buts. Okay, John, so what you need is a copy of both trusts, and you need to get an attorney like Blake Harris. I mean, okay, can he compel them, Blake, to give him copies of the trust?
You can sue and then get a copy of the trust. So yes, if you are a beneficiary of the trust, they do have to provide you the relevant portions of the trust.
Okay.
I mean, how did he kick you out as a trustee of your dad's trust if you were co-trustees? How did he do that?
Well, he made some complaints. He hired a lawyer, made some complaints through the court, and there was some hearing or some court appearance, and I wasn't able to get there in time.
So the judge removed you?
Yeah, he removed me.
Okay. Too late there.
Right.
I just don't get it. Blake, what should he do? It sounds like he doesn't know anything about anything, and his brother's running away with everything.
I would take action. These things are much better if you nip them in the bud, because if it goes too long and your brother does steal away some money, it can be harder to recover. It can be harder and impossible to recover.
Actually, I already have a lawyer that's supposed to be protecting my interest in that trust, but I think as of last week, my lawyer's not going to be doing anything for me because my lawyer doesn't think there's anything to do.
What does that mean?
I'm not exactly sure because I keep telling my lawyer
he's your attorney.
what I'm afraid of my sibling is doing.
He's your attorney. He should tell you why he doesn't think there's a danger. Did your attorney read the trusts?
Yes, my attorney has a copy of the will and the trust.
Both trusts? Both?
Yes, the attorney has a copy of it. I know this because I had to pay them money for them to.
Does he have a copy of both trusts, John? Both of them. Does he have a copy of both of them?
No, just our father's trust.
Well, then you need to get a copy of the mom's trust too. What is he doing about it? Look, you know what you're doing, John? My advice, fire your attorney, okay? Because you have no answers at all. You have zero answers. Zero. You have nothing. You have nothing. You need both trusts, and you need someone like Blake Harris to interpret those trusts and to see if your brother's violating his duty for those trusts. Stop sitting on your ass and take action. And have better answers than I have no idea. Blake Harris, 833-ASK-BLAKE. He'll answer these questions for you. He only charges for what he does for you. 833-ASK-BLAKE.
Fucking guy, he doesn't know shit. I mean, he doesn't even know what to ask. God almighty.
You need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years. Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Colorado area attorneys. 8101 East Prentice Avenue, Suite 475, Greenwood Village, Colorado, 80111. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Do you know what I love about Renew Home Innovations?
I love it that they can come in and get started the next day on your bathroom. Renew Home Innovations can do beautiful new showers in place of that old ugly rectangle tub and shower combo. They can get rid of the curtains and those old doors and put up a low threshold, no threshold entry. Great for walkers or wheelchairs or just simply for ease of access. They can make it custom to your movements. That's what they can do at Renew Home Innovations, or they can do a tub shower combination or a separate tub and separate shower. It's all up to you to make that bathroom beautiful with Renew Home Innovations. Special pricing for seniors and for military. 303-904-2000, 303-904-2000. No supply chain issues there. RenewHomeInnovations.com. And if you want to do floors, SimplyFloorsInc.com. You know what I love about Simply Floors? They have the experts, Buddy and Karen Mitchell, can help you decide on the floor you want. They have a big selection of carpeting. They have wonderful luxury vinyl tile, the experts there, and they have all kinds of wood floors. Now, here's the deal. They have better installers and design consultants who help you incorporate your floor into your project. Make your own appointment at Simply Floors Inc. That's INC, SimplyFloorsInc.com.
When you were a kid and lost a tooth, deal if you couldn't eat an apple for a month. But as a kid, it wasn't embarrassing if you were missing a tooth and you smiled. Like I said, it was cute, and you might even get a buck or two from the tooth fairy. Unfortunately, it's not like that as an adult. When you're missing a tooth or two or more, now it can really negatively impact your life. Not just what you eat, but whether you go out with friends or ask someone out on a date, or even just whether you smile. This is where Aspenwood Dental and the Colorado Dental Implant Center can help. They specialize in making sure that you have a mouthful of teeth so that, as one recent Aspenwood Dental client said, quote, "I've had my implants 6 months and I wish I'd gotten them years ago. I can even eat apples now," end quote. Seriously, if you're missing teeth, implants can change your life. To get started with a free consultation, call Aspenwood Dental at 303-751-3321. That's 303-751-3321. Or go online at aspenwooddental.com. That's aspenwooddental.com.
I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. When my listeners need advice on mortgages, I call Ideal Home Loans, making it possible for you to own instead of renting, or refinancing to fix up the home you have. With their 2-year interest rate guarantee. If rates go down, they refinance you free of charge, or they're pre-approved, which gives you the strength of a cash buyer. At Ideal, first they listen, then they lend. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000.
It's replacement window season. If your windows are drafty, difficult to operate, or costing you money on your energy bill, it's time to replace them. Champion Windows is here to help. Right now, Champion is offering buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Champion builds our own windows right here in the USA. We make the process easy. We help you choose the best design options for your home. We then build your project in our very own factory. Our install team manages your project every step of the way, and it's all backed by our lifetime guarantee. Turn your house into your dream home with more livable space and a new Champion sunroom, or enhance your curb appeal with new siding. Now 30% off. Don't wait. This sale won't last long. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and 30% off sunroofs and siding. Plus, 60 months low interest.
They will not shoot. That's the whole point. They will sacrifice.
This could be a fucking world war.
No, they will sacrifice.
You already have other NATO members saying, let's do the no-fly zone and send planes.
And they will sacrifice Ukraine to prevent a war with Russia. And they will draw
Well, then I
lines.
guess they should sacrifice anybody, then, right? That's not
Yeah, but check it out. What's going to happen when China does the same thing to Taiwan?
1800s and Russian
Nothing.
in the 1900s.
No, we're hanging out there by ourselves. That's our ally.
We're the ones that look so weak
Well, no,
right now.
they have Japan and South Korea and Australia.
First line of defense
Woo-hoo.
Get
the
I mean,
and viruses.
drop some crates of beer on
How do you clean your nose?
Yeah.
Navage. Navage is medicine.
I wonder how all these fucking socialist communists feel about their brother.
They're going to be scared shitless. Huh? They're going to be scared shitless there.
I'll call them after 3 then.
And then out the other nostril.
What's going to stop them from doing to Belarus, to Latvia, to Hungary?
Well, because those are NATO countries, not Belarus.
Okay.
But the other countries are they're all NATO countries.
Why do you think they're a sacrifice for NATO?
Why? Because Russia knows that if they do attack a NATO country, then Charter 5 of the NATO agreement.
They blew up 10 miles from it yesterday.
But 10 miles is not. is 10 miles.
Doc, I think we're going to see a no-fly zone.
All right, I disagree.
Now, what do
with
you mean by that, Mark?
That means we won't let anything fly
over Ukraine.
But that's just going to escalate to what you're talking about, Tom. That's going
It
pull everybody else
right,
into
it
this.
won't happen. They will sacrifice Ukraine and draw a line at the NATO countries because they don't want to risk a war with Russia, an out-and-out war, even though it's apparent from the military action in Ukraine that we could defeat the Russians without nuclear weapons.
How are they going to afford to actually do anything? The ruble is what, 6-1.
What do you do when NATO starts having different opinions, though?
Well, they won't.
So who fucking decides? You say we decide?
No,
If
NATO.
every other. Right now, there's countries in NATO that say we should be flying over that mother.
Well, apparently they don't have a majority because we're not doing it.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Is that how it works? Is it a vote?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not going to end well.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter,
713-TALK, 713-8255. Beatrice, let's get back to you, Beatrice, on this. Got a call from a company. Okay, now they were supposedly with the government. Now, when did you get this call, Beatrice?
Well over a year ago. They told me that it would be resolved in about 4 months. And
what did they say they could do for you?
They said they could lower my interest rate and payment, which never happened.
But what did they want from you?
Well, they said that they could help me.
Okay. Why did you need the help?
Because I'm a widow and I.
What were you behind on? Beatrice? Were you behind on your mortgage?
No, I was not behind.
Now,
but I wasn't for. They put me in forbearance as well.
Who put you in forbearance?
They did.
Well, they didn't have your mortgage. They can't put you in forbearance. Who was your mortgage with at the time this company called you?
Lakeview.
And so they interceded for you and put you into forbearance. They said, Cynthia, we're going to put your house in forbearance?
Yes, they did.
Okay,
So
but
they
how
didn't tell me. They just did it. I don't understand.
Did they have you sign anything?
No, they didn't have me sign anything. No, not at all.
Well, then they don't have the authority to do that. How did they put your house? How did they contact your lender and put your loan in forbearance?
Well, they took my information down, all my information down, and that's how they. Yeah, so that's how they. That's how they did it. I would assume.
Okay, and hold on. What does forbearance mean? Does that mean you didn't make a payment?
That means that.
Did you stop making payments?
Well, no. They actually told me that I didn't have to make any payments to my mortgage company.
I'm asking you then just answer, Beatrice. I'm just asking.
Okay.
Did you stop making payments?
I guess I did. Because,
when? What do you mean you guess? Either you did or you didn't, and I'm only trying to get this to help you. When did you stop making payments, Beatrice? When?
Well, over a year ago.
Okay. Now, how much were your payments?
My payments were $1,798 a month.
Okay, $1,798 payments. You stopped making those payments how many months ago? Literally, how many months ago?
I'm going to go with at least 14 months.
Okay. Okay, so you're behind. So it's natural your house is in foreclosure.
Right.
It's natural.
Right.
I mean, where did all that money go that you saved? Where you were making your payments on time every month. Okay, so now where's that money? Did you spend every bit of it?
No. Home Matters USA told me that I would have to make payments to them.
Wait a minute. So wait, when you stopped making those $1,798 payments, were you paying it to them?
Yes.
Wait, so you made payments the whole time, but you just stopped making it. Oh my God.
Yes.
And wait, so you started making $1,798 payments to them. So you made every single payment, and you have proof of that.
Yes.
Okay.
I do. I have every single. I went to the bank and they asked me to get.
And what's the name of that company?
Home Matters USA.
Home Matters. And these people at Home Matters took your money, and what were they supposed to do with it?
I don't know.
Well,
They didn't tell me what they were doing with the money.
You had no mortgage with them. You had nothing with this company, no contracts, and you started making them payments for 14 months. They collected. Are you still making payments to them?
No, no.
When did you stop making payments to them?
6 months ago. Because,
okay, so you stopped making payments. But you did make payments. $25,000 you paid to them.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so, oh my God. So what did they do with the $25,000?
I wish I knew. I didn't know that they were going to scam me. I had no clue. They told me that I.
Well, what way did you think you could just send money to a company that you have no mortgage with? I mean, what? It was a scam from day one. What did you think they were doing with the money? What did you think you were doing? Did you think you had a new loan with? Wait, did you think you had a new loan with them?
Yes.
Okay, but you never signed. You never signed for a new loan.
I didn't sign for a new loan.
But you thought magically, and I'm not trying to make fun of you here, but people have to hear this. You thought magically Home Matters took over your mortgage and you started making payments to them and your home went into foreclosure.
Well, I've got a letter stating that if I don't make a $35,000 payment, that it'll be going into foreclosure. I just received it Friday.
Well, guess what? If you don't make up the money to who? To your original company?
Yes, to Lakeview. Don't care.
Well, you understand Lakeview has not been paid now for 14 plus another 6 months for 20 months.
Yes, I understand that.
So you understand
now.
Yeah, so now they want it, and they're going to get your home.
It's not just her. There's hundreds of people out there. These guys have done the same thing.
There are hundreds of people that they have done this to.
Yes.
What's the government? Was anybody doing?
Just like here's one, Kathy H. This company is a scam. I paid them close to $15,000, and they didn't do what they promised. Now I'm $50,000 behind in my mortgage payments.
Beatrice, how long have you been in that home?
30 years.
Oh, my God.
They've done nothing. This is another one. They promised everything, did nothing. I'm facing foreclosure.
What, do you have somebody that you talk to at Home Matters?
I've tried calling them, and they're not returning my calls.
Do they answer the phone?
Yes. Well, they don't answer. It goes into voicemail. Into the person that was working with me, his name's John. It keeps going to voicemail. I've left him several messages and nothing. I have not received a call back.
Beatrice, did you talk? No. Listen, I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but you understand why I'm exaggerating this. I want people to hear it. Is Lakeview the name of your mortgage company?
Yes.
Okay.
There's so many of these, Tom.
Mark,
they promise lower interest rates and a reduction of up to 30% off the principal of the loan. You basically pay them instead of the mortgage for X amount of time.
Yeah, because here's what they plan on doing. They planned on you going into the rears. They would have lump sums to negotiate a pay down, and they don't do it. These companies rip people off every single day. Beatrice, what part of town do you live in?
Broomfield.
Now, what the hell do we do now? What do we do?
How much equity do you have in the house?
Let me take a look at
Beatrice, you know what we might have to do? We might have to get that house sold and get your money so you don't get a foreclosure. You can't face, no matter what, if you can't get this paid, you need to sell at least to get the rest of your equity. Where people really get in trouble is where they won't sell. And I'm telling you, you need to. And you sell for top dollar.
See how much equity you have.
Hold on. We'll come back. Hold on.
Oh, my.
She's got enough equity and she can actually.
How does this fucking company get away with it?
Is anybody investigating?
Yeah, what the fuck? How does that happen? That they don't get their asses fucking arrested?
Let's call these motherfuckers.
I don't think they answer, but we can leave a message.
Okay, could you call their mortgage company and see if they work through to refinance it and get it out of arrears?
It's possible.
So you guys have a little.
Money Matters USA. Oh my God. These fucking assholes. Do you know how much they probably fucking paid?
Because
he has a podcast. Did you see? Which one is? Is it moneymatters.net?
Where are they located, Phil?
Which one is it? There's a lot of them.
I hate that feeling like I'm being watched. I downloaded DuckDuckGo.
I think it's Home Matters USA.
Back to your privacy online?
Yeah, okay.
DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Home Matters USA?
FixMyHome.com. I want you to go to that website to figure out what you want, because they are doing this extreme fix and clean for just $24 of your furnace, and your furnace is needed not only for the rest of the winter but for the cooling season as well. So get their extreme clean and checkup for just $24. They spend hours on your system. They take it apart to the extent they can and clean each and every component and adjust it and make it like new. Now listen, if they can't, they'll give you the reason why, but you know what? You won't have a better company in your home to look at this. $24 for an extreme clean check and a no breakdown guarantee. FixMyHome.com. Listen, do you realize that's what you pay for coffee? This $24? This is a new price he gave me just for you. 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939. A company you can trust. FixMyHome.com. We talk about reverse loans on this show, and one of the companies I fully endorse, Empower Reverse. Mark Massey and his team will take care of you. Reverse loans can be complicated, but he makes it simple. How? By taking care of you and counseling you and giving you the personal attention you need to decide how to take a reverse loan, how much to get of your equity, and how to structure it. Whether you want a monthly payment, a lump sum, or a line of credit. 833-502-3100. That's EmpowerReverse.com. Talk to Mark and his team, tell him I sent you, and find out if a reverse loan is right for you. In these times, it can really help. Hey, maybe we can help this woman with a reverse loan. Who knows? Let's try that one. 833-502-3100.
Near historically low mortgage rates may...
You used it at Lazy Dog, just like I told you. It's right there in your pending charges.
Oh, okay. I'll call back.
There is a, I'm looking at this, there was a link to it, Home Matters USA lawsuit.
Or go to LoanDepot.com. Loan Depot, where home means everything. Which are subject to change. Equal housing opportunity lender. MLS number 174457. Licensed in all the states.
Are they in New Jersey? Is that where you're calling?
No, it's Los Angeles.
Wait.
Most shady people come from.
Then I don't know which one we're looking at.
There's no one's answering there. Their website's down. Website's completely gone.
What? I have moneymattersusa.net.
HomeMattersUSA.com.
Okay, how do you know that's the one?
Because I found them on the BBB site.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
And then their phone number is them. And then on the BBB site it says current alerts for this business. It's illegal to charge upfront fees. You can't collect money from a customer unless you deliver, and the customer agrees to a written offer of mortgage relief from the customer's lender or service. Read more about the Mars rule at ftc.gov.
So these fuckers just took off, didn't they?
It sounds like they're gone. I mean, their website's gone.
Do you know how much money they got from people making fucking payments?
Probably millions, yeah. Just as one BBB site out of, where is this one? Great West Pacific, whatever that is. Los Angeles. 29 complaints. 23 in 12 months.
How long ago, Mark? When were those complaints? They took advantage of people during the pandemic.
The latest one was 1/11/22. Starting on July 20, they promised to get our loan modification with a 2.1 interest rate and 30% off our loan principal and a new payment of blah, blah, blah. They had us pay them every month, telling us it was going straight to the investor and to not worry that the money was not reflecting on our loan with the servicing company. We've been paying them for a year and a half.
Hey, let me tell you a little bit about Blue Sky CBD. I love this company, I really do. Did you know that March is National Sleep?
That's probably the average time they actually are able to collect from people is about 18 months before it goes into foreclosure.
Ongoing sleep deficiency is linked to increased risk of heart and kidney disease, high blood pressure, stroke, a lot of things that we don't want. So the message is, if you or somebody you love is struggling getting the sleep they deserve, you should really consider.
So basically, they're saying they're holding on to that money.
Right, and then negotiating buy downs.
Yeah, but the problem is there's no, that's it. This other guy, same thing, June of 2021, that they were waiting on an investor, and my payment would be $400 less monthly. I have no communication with them anymore. Now I'm going into foreclosure. Oh my God, there's just one after another. These are all like
forbearances, F-O-R-E, Barents, B-A-R-A-N-C-E. Is that it?
F-O-R-E.
F-O-R-E, right?
I think it's F-O-R.
Is it?
Okay.
For do-it-yourselfers or send your
Are you
contractor.
sure?
No, I should correct it.
Well, I'm just asking. I just want to know.
High quality. Buy and build. 560 South La Paz.
Yeah, you're right. Forbearance. You're right. Bear.
B-A-R-A-N-C-E.
And he didn't even know what an Oxford comma was.
Yeah, Mark, you're so superior.
You know, it's one of those things that I should have actually, when I heard that song, and I sing it all the time.
I had to look it up after hearing it. I was like, what the hell's an Oxford?
That doesn't surprise me.
Who, me or him?
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Apparently, I'm just going to say this, they've ripped off people across the country. Across the country, it is a, as my mom would say, a sin. Yep, that's what she would say. It's terrible. They have ruined people's lives. Beatrice, I don't know how to put this other than you've been totally ripped off. And you can lose your home from this, okay? Because you can't make up the money. So we have to figure out a way you don't lose your home. We have to figure out a way to help you, okay? That's I mean, no, I know. But you may have to sell it. I mean, I don't know how to get around it. And I'm just saying this because you're calling for help. And I don't have a dog in this fight, and I don't want to hurt you. I want to only help you. And if you're my mom, if you were my mom or my aunt or my sister, I would be telling you the same thing. And here's what I believe we need to do. We need to figure out how much you have in that home in equity. And if you can extract that, one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to have a foreclosure, period. Okay? Because you will lose everything. If you can at least get some of your equity out, that would be better than losing everything. Or maybe you get a reverse loan. Maybe that can help you. How much, I need to ask some questions here. How much do you owe on your home right now?
I owe $254,000.
Wait. Just wait. Patricia, wait. I mean, not Patricia, Beatrice. $250,000. Now, this $250,000, does that include the amount you owe to get out of foreclosure?
Apparently not. I don't know if that 35 is added on there.
Yes, it is. Usually.
Okay.
Now, usually it is. I don't know. I mean, maybe not, though. I mean, $250,000. I don't know what your balance would be today, but we got to figure it out. But you say it's around $250,000. It could be $275,000. What is the price of homes like you're selling for?
$532,000. That's.
How old are you? How old are you?
60.
She's not even old enough for a reverse loan. She's only 60.
I don't think she has enough equity either.
Beatrice, I want to talk. No, seriously, I want to talk to you because you're going to head. Here's what's going to happen. Okay, I'm going to predict this. just based on your voice. You're not going to listen to me, and you're going to find someone else who promises you something else, and they're going to rip you off. Okay? Again.
No, I'm listening to you.
All right, you need to sell your house and pay off the debt, and at least take the cash you have and hold it for a while until you can buy something you can afford. But Beatrice, you know, you stopped making payments on your house for no reason because you were making your payments and you paid them to this company, and I know they flim-flammed you, but now you're so far in the hole, you don't have the money, and I understand why. You paid it to them. You see, I thought maybe you just stopped making your payments, but you didn't. You didn't just stop. Now, you did stop 6 months ago making payments, though, to the Money Matters. Thank you. Now, what did you do with that money? Did you save it?
Well, I made payments to Lakeview.
Okay, you went back to paying Lakeview again. Yeah. Got it. Listen.
What's your income look like?
It's about 45,000.
What do you do? What do you do roughly for a living? Don't tell me where.
Well, right now I'm actually on disability.
Okay.
But I also get a pension.
Okay.
From RTD.
Okay, that's fine. So,
how much extra could you afford each month?
Why are you asking this, Mark?
Well, I mean, she's got enough equity to where some hard money could come in. It's not that
to give her a second.
Yeah,
I don't think she could afford them. She's hardly.
That's why I'm asking the question.
Let me ask you something. How much could you afford to pay in a mortgage payment to keep your house? Because what Mark's thinking about is you getting a second somewhere.
But with my credit ruined by this.
That we're not asking that, Beatrice. We're not asking that. We're asking how much you can afford.
Okay. I'm thinking 14, 15.
14 or 15. Your other payment was $1,800. You can only afford $1,400 now?
Well, I mean, I guess I can afford the 18, but it's gonna put me like in the hole right now. But I spoke to. Can I just
Beatrice, say something because it sounds to me like you can't afford your house anyway. Even if somebody came in and paid that off for you magically, you still can't afford. You're telling me you're $1,800 a month.
Can I say something real quick? I'm her son. I was listening.
Okay, what's your name? Hold on. What's your name?
Raymond.
Raymond, thank you for being there. Hold on, Raymond. I got to take a break. Raymond, I'll let you speak. I promise. Hold on.
She can't even afford her payment.
She can't afford her fucking payments.
But
she needs to get rid of her
She was making payments up until the
Okay, that's what she told us.
Right.
Okay, I'll guarantee you she didn't make every one of those fucking payments, and that's why she bid for this to begin with.
Let's find out.
I mean, if she had the cash flow, it's a perfect loan, but she doesn't. I mean, she can't make the payments. It's impossible. It's impossible.
You know what? She lost her home back when she made this deal. They just prolonged it. You know, she needs to sell the fucking house and take what she can get in money. That's what she needs to do. I don't care what.
I agree with you on the foreclosure. They'll hit her with so many attorney's fees. They will eat up any check she would have gotten like that. They fucked a lot.
They need to fucking rot you out.
I'm being haunted by a pair of headphones. Everywhere I go is a creepy ad for headphones I've looked at one time. I hate that feeling like I'm being watched.
She owes more than $250. She owes.
It doesn't make any sense. If she had refinanced, she would have been, even with property tax and escrow, she would have been about $1,400.
Okay.
Let's talk about selling your house in a hurry. You can go the conventional way, but it still takes months for people to get loan approvals and inspections and all of that done. That's why there is an alternative. Now, I'm not saying it's the best for everyone, but you ought to try them. There's no reason not to. I know the company. They've purchased more than 3,000 homes already in Denver. You may have deferred maintenance. You don't want inspections. You don't want to pay any kind of, fees. Call Homevestors. They'll make you a bid and write you a check. It's that easy. 800-44-BUYER. 800-44-BUYER. Now, speaking of real estate, God, you can stay out of trouble like Beatrice just got in if you just talk to a real estate attorney. Do you know O'Brien Legal Services should review all of your contracts whenever you're involved in real estate? And he can help you with boundary disputes, easements, eminent domain, adverse possession, any other issues that come up, or just looking over contracts, whether it's commercial or residential, anything real estate related, O'Brien Legal Services, that's olslaw.com, 720-370-7388. K&H Home Solutions. Do you know what? I've known this company now for 40 some odd years. Yeah, I knew the original owner and I know the owner now. They are a great company and have withstood the test of time. And right now, at khwindows.com, you'll find out about their great sale, 30% off their beautiful siding, their energy-efficient windows, and designer doors. What a great combination of discounts, excellent products, and a 65-year heritage. Yeah, make your tax refund go a long way with khwindows.com. That's more information at khwindows.com.
Social Security questions?
Man, that shit's getting crazy over there, guys.
So many questions. Social Security will not give you the answer.
Did you guys see that Iran shot those fucking missiles into Iraq about 10 miles from our embassy over the weekend?
So I want to know.
12 missiles blew their shit
I
out.
got you a number.
Okay, good.
That's the owner.
Who
Adam
applies?
Coomer.
Great.
Oops,
Sharon.
it disappeared.
Okay, great.
For a Volta.
Overall health and wellness, modern medicine, or personal hygiene. Actually, it's both.
Beatrice needs to sell her house.
Bathing
She needs
was
to talk to
mainstream
Frank.
in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s. Isn't it time for something
gotta do
new,
something.
like
She's gotta
cleaning
sell her
your
house.
nose?
You know what sucks is you can't even buy anything.
What was the son's name? Does
The
anyone
first
remember?
line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But
Yeah, he's,
clean your nose.
his brain cells are still there.
Navage isn't medicine, it's
Barely.
like
You mean mine?
Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get
He got
trapped
kicked
and
off
multiply.
Match.com.
And then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and mercury.
It's my
You know
favorite
what?
doc story.
No, that was that was a true story too.
I know it's a true story.
What?
True.
They just sent me, they just sent me a
He got
notice
kicked off.
I didn't know that.
they were
You know why?
canceling my account. This is about 3 or 4 years ago.
Emailing people.
So somebody probably goes
Looked
to
at
me
his
because
profile 75 times in a day.
there's nothing I've ever said on Match that I wouldn't let my son or my mother read. The worst thing I've ever said is, I'm sorry, I don't think we have much in common, but I hope you find someone you're looking for. That's the worst thing I've ever said. So somebody probably ghosted me and used my profile and my picture because, you know, it's a good catch that they wanted it. I told you, the best thing I ever heard was when I
They wanted that mugshot.
after my divorce, my medical assistant came up to me and said, you know, Dr. Manfred, your age, you got 3 things that women really want. You got hair, teeth, and a job. Said, you're golden. So I said, well, now I only have 2 out of 3.
That's natural hair color. Can you
Yeah,
believe
right.
that shit?
Right.
Sure, that's a big sure.
Yes, sure it is.
I got one for you. So I was president of NCA, and I got this email from this guy who was trying to hijack one of our people's.
Like Gmail or?
No, he was on Tinder. So they tried to hijack his account. Well, it turns out that the guy either had doctored photos of him standing nude, holding his genitalia in his office. Doesn't work, right? So he said, "Pay me $500. I'm going to put this all onto all of your investors, all of your."
Oh my God! And they were just Photoshop shit.
Okay, they're so good that. It
Did
looks
you
like
see them?
Oh yeah, I've got them.
What do they call them? They call those No, we're God, they make it look real, but it's not. It's a big
Photoshop.
No.
It's a big industry.
Deep fake.
Deep fake.
I don't know. I'm just kind of going. I can't see these pictures.
God. Holy shit!
So you got to be careful when you're on those sites. Who knows who gets hold of your information?
Yeah, but it wouldn't. I mean, they can get a picture of you anywhere these days.
These they might be deep fakes, but they look like they were real deals. So I just I forwarded on to him. I said, look, we don't want anything to do with this. Take care of this. This is on you. So.
And what did he do?
Ended up paying the $500.
Did he really? Do you think they were real?
It looks pretty real, Mark. I mean,
I guess on Tinder, shit like that goes down.
They have his dog, his dog.
Tom Martino here,
713 Talk, 713-8255. Listen, Beatrice, Beatrice, we need to warn people about these forbearance scams, and Raymond wants to say something. Go ahead, Raymond.
Well, I think she's a little nervous and she's kind of not given like every piece of information. So I think she could afford the 17 or 1800, but this company had contacted her. I'm not really finding out anything until now.
Yeah.
They contacted her and said that they'd be able to help her get a lower interest rate, a lower payment, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why
they're doing that all over the country, Raymond. No, she fell for whatever everyone else did, and there are a lot of people that fell for this, and she thought by making payments to them they were going to eventually negotiate a better loan. Listen, we understand that, but even affording $1,800 a month won't get her out of this hole, because we were.
I know.
There were only a couple things we could do. One would be a reverse loan. The other one would be, and doesn't qualify for a reverse. She's too young. The other one would be getting a second, but the second would add another at least $800 to $1,000 on top of what she's paying. She couldn't afford that. So her only other option, and I'm telling you this because we want to help her. If she goes to foreclosure, I will tell you this: they will eat up most of her equity, and she's not going to get crap. What she needs to do, and as crazy and as heartless as it sounds, she has to sell her house, Raymond, and at least walk away with something. I swear to God, she needs to do that, because if she does not, and she shouldn't make any more payments because they're not going to do any good. That will not hold off the foreclosure. She has a race right now to sell. That's what she needs to do.
Okay.
And she needs to get Frank Duran, the real estate man, I mean it, and he needs to make it a priority to sell that house, and not to an investor, but to someone to get the most money. She pays off that debt, and she walks away with at least some cash. Then we can help her with the right people not to get ripped off again.
Okay. So she had contacted her original lender after she found out that it was in foreclosure, and they had sent her a mortgage assistance application. Is that something?
Yes, you should explore that too. Yes, but you should put it on the market while you're doing it, because you may not have enough time. Please, Raymond, we're going to be in touch with you. Hold on.
For over 150 years, CIBC has helped people go from where they are to where they want to be. From leading
Raymond and have him coordinate with Frank Duran. We got to get that house evaluated and sold, or at least listed. If she gets mortgage forbearance, if the new company wants to offer a deal, I want Doc to look at it, because I don't want her to get fucked again.
What was the forbearance issue on that one?
What do you mean?
There was no. She originally said that she had forbearance.
No, she originally said that this company offered a forbearance. There was no forbearance.
The most 5-letter words, I can figure something out.
What are you doing? What the fuck is this about?
It's some fake bullshit about money. We gotta find a woman with some nice smelling hair to get Eagle back on track. It is weird how he sniffs women's hair all the time.
Who does?
Biden. There's some videos out there of they'll put these collages together where he's sniffing women's hair, just one after another, after another, after another.
The overwhelming majority of civilian casualties and the overwhelming majority of civilian.
What do you think, like, if they start using chemical weapons?
Holy shit.
I mean, do we still sit back and do nothing? I mean, at some point we're complacent, and it's just a bad thing, man.
Yeah. That's a UN deal. That's not even NATO. So to do that, then it's going to be everybody else on those guys, but it will be World War III. So.
Just hope our space wars works good. Although they've been bragging about that fucking hypersonic.
Oh, the missile that North Korea is hypersonic missiles?
I'm talking China and Russia have them. I think we do too. But, you know, the old-fashioned ballistics would go up into space. As the world turns, it comes back down.
Right.
These fuckers just come right at you.
And you can't. There's no defense.
No, because they're going. There's nothing that can catch them.
Right.
That's some scary. That's a fast son of a bitch.
But even I never had a fucking idiot like. I just couldn't imagine it being this weak. I didn't think he was going to be this weak. The guy is a fucking lunatic. He's so weak. He's like, and then he scolds us. I'm telling you.
His old boss,
Obama.
That I voted for him. You know that, but his
Obama.
I love Obama. No. But when Russia was doing this back then, that's when he drew that red line, and then as soon as they went over the red line, they didn't do a fucking thing.
Oh, okay. But I like Obama compared to this motherfucker.
Oh my God, I don't think Obama likes this guy.
Obama took over a really bad economy too.
Well, it was starting to come back up.
I know, but you know what? If it didn't come up, he'd get the criticism, so he should get the credit. And you know, yeah, Obama had his time.
He was fine until he fucked with my health care.
I like Clinton. I like Bush. I like Obama. I didn't like Bush that much. I like Obama. I like Trump as president. Reagan I liked. I mean, there's certain presidents I had confidence in.
I like Clinton.
Yeah.
I would say I like Clinton and Obama in their first terms.
Yeah.
Didn't like him in their second term.
No, because he was too. But Clinton was too tied up with his dick.
Well, I mean, not even that. Just the way they did with policy and how the country kind of took a.
This guy just lied to us, saying he's down the middle. I mean, it was such a. It's so obvious how fucking left he is now. It's crazy. Why we're not drilling and fracking like crazy right now to get these gas prices under. I can't. He could actually come out of this looking like a fucking hero, but he just won't do it.
Because
he is so beholden to these lefties. I have no idea what they have on him. I think they got pictures like you were describing on him in the Oval Office.
That would be funny.
All they got on Clinton was a blue dress, but they got
but they got DNA on that.
They had
They never give Biden's DNA unless it was blood.
Or skin.
I always felt bad for that Monica.
It wouldn't be anything else.
Don't you feel bad for her, Lewinsky?
Why? She got tons of money, man.
Fuck, I don't know, because she was so okey doke by him. She was fucking a kid.
Listen, not quite like I know you guys, but I know her brother. I mean, we've had dinner together. We've had lunch together. He lives in upstate New York. I knew her brother. Really? Adopted. I mean, hold on. What I missed this. The parents got married at young ages, and so they were a melded family.
That's a trip. Do you know her?
No, not at all. No. I didn't know him younger. I knew him before she became an intern. Before she was an intern.
Was she your intern?
And so he started. You know what he started? He had a Cupid thing. I think he started. What was it? And then he started. He started
a Cupid
job
thing.
line.
You mean
one of the big job lines. He's really a fucking smart guy.
I know, like ZipRecruiter or something.
Yeah, hold on.
Putin expands war. I wonder what that means. It's a headline.
And his name is not Lewinsky.
Missile strike. Oh, don't. God, I do not know that language. Don't. How do you pronounce a TSK? How in the fuck do you pronounce TSK? Missile strike in
Donetsk.
Donetsk.
I bet you it's Donetsk.
Donuts, anybody?
Buy a valve.
Donetsk.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I tell my golf buddies when they buy clubs. Stop searching for coupon codes.
Every morning I get up and I look at that the news, man. I don't know why people don't realize. There's people out there that still think like Ukraine is going to survive this. I do not. I think they already took Ukraine, to be quite honest. There's going to be nothing left of some of these cities. They're just going to fucking level them.
Still don't get what the motivation is.
He thinks legitimately that his land got fucking stolen. That's what I think. And he wants it fucking back. I think legitimately he sees that as Russian land. I tell you where I'd be pissed if I was Ukraine is when we squeezed them to give up their nukes. They wouldn't be here right now. If they still had those nukes, this would not be going on. Right. Don't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. That would be.
We made them those promises.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Listen, SaferNet.com is a website that can save you money, possibly hundreds of thousands. It would save the pipeline millions had they had it. It will keep you from being hacked, period. It will keep you from having your files encrypted, period. It will keep you from ransomware, malware, viruses, and all you have to do is run it in the background. That's it. Download it and run it. In the background, it'll actually speed up your network operations because it wards off attacks. SaferNet.com for families or businesses. Now listen to this. It's only a few bucks a month per device. It can go on a tablet, a cell phone. It can go on any kind of device that you have. SaferNet.com. Download it. Love it. It's unfreaking believable. SaferNet.com. If you want more information, 720-452-1222. Now we have a lot happening here, and we need to help. We really need to help people who are victims of this forbearance scam. We are working behind the scenes on this. Jamie Baumgarten, Dr. Jamie Baumgarten, is with Panacea Life Sciences. And we've been talking about CBD and its properties, and I want to revisit that, and then I'll go back to your calls. I hear a lot about the sleep property. But on the sleep property, I notice it has melatonin. So is that what's making people sleepy, or what does CBD do for sleep?
CBD does basically three things, Tom. One is it lowers anxiety. So like if you're like me and you wake up at 3 in the morning because you're worried about...
Yeah, I do that.
Helps reduce your anxiety. Also helps actually relieve aches and pains. So if you have like a sore hip and you roll over in the middle of the night, it'll help you out there. And then the third thing that it does, it actually hits on the same sleep centers that like Ambien will hit on. And so it'll help you. It won't make you go to sleep,
but stay asleep. I like that. Okay. So that's where the melatonin helps you fall asleep.
Melatonin helps to relax you and help you fall asleep. We're working on new formulations as well with other cannabinoids we're going to blend into there. So in the next 8 weeks, next month when we come back, we'll talk to you more about our improved formula.
You know something I've noticed about melatonin, and I'm curious if you guys have already run into it. My dreams get so vivid on it.
And sometimes
it's
bad
crazy.
dreams. I get bad dreams with it.
Why is that? Do you know?
No.
Because of the brain, I think. It works on the brain somehow.
Like you're in a deeper sleep?
I don't know. I don't like it. But I like it when it's blended with CBD. It kind of evens it out. I don't like plain melatonin. Anyway, realcbdthatworks.com or panacealife.com. So what else is coming out? I want to know a preview of anything.
Well, we just came out with the horse paste. That is
for worming?
No.
You said horse paste.
It's a paste formula.
Not for horses.
For horses.
Okay, what does it do, the paste?
So what it does, it replenishes electrolytes and helps horses actually have decreased anxiety and help recover from training.
Oh, cool. Okay, so very cool. Yeah. I got to order some of that.
So we just launched it, and we're pretty excited.
Are the equine and canine products, are they doing well?
They're our best sellers, believe it or not.
Well, of course, because people are crazy about their animals.
They are. And you know, the thing is with humans is that we always have to deal with what we call placebo effect.
Right.
Right? With dogs, if you give them our CBD product and you've got an aged dog that's not moving around so well.
And it starts moving
15 minutes later, they're like a puppy again.
Hey, and you can't say, well, that's psychosomatic, because it's not.
Right. And we actually saw the same thing in horses. And so that's the reason why we came out with the horse base.
All right, let's talk to Cynthia. And which one was this, Suze? What was it? Is this with Smarty Marty? No. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Never mind. I misunderstood.
Cynthia's on 1. You picked up 2. Patricia, Tom, with the reverse mortgage in Bayfield. Are you done with her call?
No, I didn't start it. I didn't start it. Patricia, what's going on? Sorry, dear. I got you confused with somebody. What's going on, Patricia?
Good. I'm in my 70s. My wife is in her 80s. And we are becoming, because of what's going on, unable to live on our Social Security. I own my own property. I own all my vehicles, everything outright.
Okay.
But I called a local guy on a reverse mortgage. He gave me an estimate of about $244,000 for my property, and was willing to do a reverse mortgage that would give me $115,000.
Okay, here's what I want you to know. Okay, I don't want you to use anyone except people we know, because I'm serious, Patricia, because there's a lot of ripoffs in the reverse industry. I'm serious. So please, we will give you recommended lenders, and we know them from just know them. They're not going to hurt you, and I want to make sure you get the most out of it. Now, they're pretty well regulated, but there are still some bad players out there. Now, on a reverse loan, I want to ask a few things. You say you don't have enough to live on, and you're in your 70s and 80s, and your house, you want to stay there. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. What else? What other income do you have?
Are there any? I'm sorry.
What other income do you have?
That's basically it.
What other income? Where is it? What is it? Social Security. How much is it for you and your wife?
Well, mine is under 500, and hers is about 1,400.
So you make about $2,000 approximately, or 1,900 a month.
About that, yeah.
And I believe her wife is terminal. Is that what you told me?
Yes, we both have COPD, and hers is getting worse and worse and worse. So her portion of the income would end with her death.
Right. Will you? Well, but don't you get survivor's benefits?
Well, the bulk of her income is survivor benefits from her ex-husband.
Oh, so you don't get that. Right. Okay, I get it now. How long have you been married?
Are there... we've been together 25 years. We've been married 6.
Okay, so that's not going to be a factor. So you definitely do need something. So a reverse loan might be a good option for you. And you're at a pretty good age, and you can figure about 50 to 55% of the true appraised value. So did you ever when was the last time your house was appraised?
Well, the appraisal that was given me was one done by Zulu.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not. It's
Zillow. How much was that?
Yeah. How much?
Yeah, that's it.
How much, dear?
Hello.
How much?
It was $244,000.
Okay, now tell me this though. You know your neighborhood. Are houses selling around there for that, or is houses similar to yours selling for more? Zillow's usually a little low.
Well, houses are on both sides. Primarily, they're selling for more. But I'm in the Durango area.
Okay.
And the housing market is going to explode.
You have a number of options, okay? One of them is to sell when it explodes, or another one is to get a reverse loan. Reverse loans are not going to go on what the house will sell for. It's going to go on appraisal, which will be a little less now.
Right.
So let's just say it's $244,000. You should be able to get $120,000. What did this guy tell you could get?
$115,000.
Yeah, he's right. That's about right. That's about right. Now,
okay, are there any alternatives to a reverse mortgage?
She's saying that won't be enough for her to live on after her partner passes.
That's not okay. Let's put it this way: if she gets a line of credit and only uses it when she needs it. If she keeps that line of credit, she gets it now, and keeps it until her partner passes, and only uses portions of it, it keeps growing on the other end. So it keeps going up every year. So it could be enough. Maybe not, but it could be. The escalator's not that much, but it goes up each year to how much more you can borrow.
You might want to consider, too, and I don't know your circumstance, but moving, and I say that for two reasons. One, you're at 6,500 feet with COPD. That's insane. You'd live a much better life at a regular altitude. And two, you could sell a little higher now in Durango and move to other places, Texas, Oklahoma.
Yeah, Arkansas.
Way cheaper.
Have you ever thought about that, Patricia? Let's say you could sell for $300 or so. You know, is your house paid for?
Totally.
Okay, so let's say you could sell your house for $300, $350. I mean, you know, you might be able to, and you might then move to another state that's cheaper. Have you guys ever considered that, or would you do it after your partner dies?
And you could buy a house with a reverse mortgage under those.
Yeah, and in other words, Patricia, why not stay put until your until your partner passes away, if you're pretty sure she's going to pass away in the next few years, and then sell it, take the money, and move to somewhere that's easier to live, lower prices. There's always states that are more economical than others, unless you're really attached to the Durango area.
Yeah, I'm born and raised.
Oh, I see. Do you have a lot of relatives there?
I do have family, yes.
Okay. Even New Mexico's cheaper. All I'm saying is this. There are sometimes circumstances that you must, you have to address. If 150 is not enough to live on, that's all you're going to get right now. Excuse me, not 150,
RV
115. What?
RV living.
I don't know if in her 70s if she wants to do that.
I go back to that COPD. We know two people in our lives that lived here, and they would always go to Nevada for the winter and Arizona, and they didn't need their oxygen, didn't need anything. And I always looked at them, and finally they did move. But I always looked at them and go, you're so happy when don't have to be hooked up to your oxygen and everything. What the hell are you living here? And they'd say, well, our grandkids. But once they finally did move, their quality of life was so much better.
Patricia, reverse loans are an option, but you're not going to goose the amount up. It's going to be what it's going to be. If you have any other questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents.
Don't you just love the smell of old books?
It's a pain.
Do you still have it at home?
Only when I'm exercising.
That's really good. Fucking, he was in the hospital with COVID.
It's only a month.
Mallory was on.
I know.
Like you.
You know, we talked about reverse loans, and I said that we have our people that we truly trust. Empower Reverse is one of them. Empower Reverse Loans. And I think that it's important you get the right lender when it comes to reverse lending. Now, Mark Massey and his team at Empower, EMPOWER, EmpowerReverse.com will take care of you. They have really your interest at heart. They will advise you on how much you can get and try to get you the most if you need it, whether it should be a line of credit, a monthly payment, or a lump sum. And remember, you're never going to go upside down with a properly done reverse loan, and your house will almost always appraise for more than the loan balance, so you'll always manage to have some equity. EmpowerReverse.com, 833-502-3100. That's 833-502-3100. Let's talk about American Restoration and why you need them. First of all, restoration companies suck in general, not American Restoration. In general, though, you get lied to, cheated, and ripped off by almost every restoration company. It's one of our most common complaints. But if you have fire, flood, mold, unattended death, crime, whatever happens to your property, and you need to have it cleaned up by the experts who have all of the EPA certifications, the licensing, and the bonding, I want to direct you to American Restoration. That's amrest247.com. That's Rock and his team. You can rest assured they'll do a great job. 833-7-AM-REST. Even if it's an insurance job, don't take that for granted. There's still co-pays, and you don't want to be ripped off. Don't rip off your insurance. They work with most insurance and with public adjusters. 833-7-AM-REST. All right. We've talked about Genesis Total Exteriors a lot because it's a home improvement company I've been associated with for 30 years, and you can trust Genesis to do a great job, whether it's a pop top, a bathroom, a kitchen, a basement, a full remodel, a garage, or you want to even do solar. You can trust GenesisTotalExteriors.com or GenesisSolarCO.com. Give Mark and his team a call at 303-679-8509.
When you're sick, injured, or experiencing an urgent medical problem, the last thing
And I left a message for a Volta Solar.
Did you see what I sent to those guys? Oh, wait, to leave? Did you see the text I sent to Mark and Suzanne? Oh, they didn't show you?
What's with this leishmaniasis? What's this? Thank you.
I sent it.
Previous. What?
Previous.
Oh my goodness. I saw you when you did it.
What is it?
By the way.
Oh, cool.
It's good for golf season.
I use it. All the time.
Works well. So Martino's 40% off through the end of the month.
Oh, okay. You mean Tom? COM or is it Martino?
We do it both ways. Tom
Okay,
or
good.
Martino.
Okay, good. Oh, good. That's great.
And then we're doing vegan soft gels now. Don't ask me if they're
Suzanne starts crying. So can someone dose him?
What's this? Well, how is CBD not vegan?
No. Let me dot soft gels.
You get a free, no obligation mortgage review. I promise you that I will pressure you, and they certainly won't charge any upfront or hidden fees. If you like what you hear from my friends, they'll design a custom loan to fit your budget and your needs, and they might get you steady payments if you want to do that. So don't call. Ask for anyone who's a microwave, and they'll give you
Okay, so what are you using now?
Give a call. Ask for anyone who used to work with me, and you
Oh, okay. Make the capsule.
you can call 303-697-3000.
I know they're crazy.
303-697-3000.
I never understood why
American
vegans
Financing.net.
won't eat eggs from green chickens.
Regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
I should have had don't be that person that says this. I don't know. I mean, it's not hurting the animal at all. I mean, I can understand if they don't want to kill something or eat something that's alive, but like the honey or eggs.
Fairway Collision Center is a
waste,
family-owned
right?
auto body shop that gives you quality workmanship at a fair, competitive price. Since 1994, neighbors have received great service, whether it's repairing a small dent or restoring your car. For more info, go to fairwaycollision.com.
And it was so hard to get
is sponsored by Kelly Blue Book.
They said they're eating cardboard. All they can eat.
And then if they're gluten,
Oh, gluten-free.
vegan gluten would be pretty tough.
I'm Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Team meteorologist Kylie Burke.
Kelly Blue Book
I want to see
instant
what this
cash offers and additional offers to
leishmaniasis
buy your
is.
car. Enter your vehicle ID info. Answer some questions. Then get a no obligation
Doesn't
offer
make any
to sell or
sense.
trade it.
They had to
Choose
get- they had to have
purchase
it
your
when they
car.
were traveling.
Schedule a time and drive away with confidence. Quality is
Maybe even Southeast
KBD.com.
Asia.
630K.
I got so much contracts to do.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Deputy Smarty Pants has a comment on CBD. Hi, Smarty Pants, what's happening?
Hey, well, I heard you talking about CBD, sleep, and you know I've written you before, Tom, about my anecdotal experience is that I use this product and I sleep better, and it wasn't psychosomatic in my case because I was taking it for pain. And I happen to notice that the sleep was much better.
Cool.
And I'm scientific oriented.
Yes, you are.
Experimented.
And you're also holistic minded.
Right. So all those things. But I noticed, and I want to ask the doctor this question.
Yes.
Because I noticed that when I take an ibuprofen with the CBD, it's even a better sleep.
Wow.
So
it could be just more analgesic, right?
Maybe, but I can tell you that I sleep like a baby.
What do you think, Jamie? What do you think?
I think you're exactly right, Tom. Is that if you have aches and pains, you roll over in the middle of the night, you get a sharp pain, it's going to wake you up. So if you have better pain relief.
I'm not in pain. No, I'm not in pain.
Because of it, you mean?
No, I'm not in pain, period.
Oh!
I just happened, when I used to take the CBD, it was for pain, but it was mild, because, usually I'm not in pain, and I just noticed, but since I've been taking it,
no matter what, Smarty Pants, if you think about it, an analgesic will help you feel, less sensations to keep you awake. Whether you call it pain or not, it's just more of a dulling effect on your senses, which helps you sleep. But I want to ask him something about the CBD in general. How long you been doing it, Marty?
Couple of years since I've been on your show, I've been with you.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Can I ask something silly? Can you vape CBD? I'm not saying you're recommending it, but that oil you have, can that be vaped?
The oil that we have, you cannot vape, but you can buy CBD vape cartridges all over the place.
Okay. What are the reports on vaping CBD? I hear vaping is bad for your lungs no matter what's in it.
Well, is
that true or not?
It is. It depends on how it's made. And I think they were looking at tocopherol, which was one of the additives that was causing the popcorn lung.
Yeah. Is that out of it now?
It's one of those things, Tom. We decided to stay away from it.
Okay. All right.
Just because of the potential health issues. And so from that standpoint, vaping CBD is a good way to get it, but you've got to make sure that it's being made in a quality fashion and doesn't contain any of those chemicals that potentially cause popcorn lung. I would stay away from it.
Yeah. I hear vaping. Smarty, did you hear that vaping is bad for you no matter what you put in it?
Well, I never heard it, but Tom, in my experience, I have never known yet a product that you inhale that is actually healthy for you.
Really?
I have never heard of anything that you inhale that is actually good. That's all. And whether it's smoke or whatever. So I wouldn't put it vaping as a separate issue either. I think that's probably not healthy either.
Thank you, Smarty Pants. Are you working on anything?
Oh, yeah, I got a lot of stuff in the fire here. I'm just waiting for some responses.
Well, we gave you that complicated one about the parking, and
I'm working on it right now.
Somebody recommended something. They faxed this to me. They texted. Here's what they said. It could be that when she was given notice to re-up her registration, that maybe her license plate changed. I don't know. The number? Who knows?
Well,
I don't know.
Well, Tom, I already spoke to the property manager.
Okay, good.
She says that her car has to be, quote, registered, and the consumer says it is. So the manager said she has to speak to Park M.
Good.
The problem is Park M doesn't have a phone number. So it has to be done through email or go there physically, but there's no physical address.
That's crazy.
So I'm sending an email when I get, and then we'll work on it.
Thank you.
We do have a success story. She'll call in later.
All right. Thank you very much, Marty. Okay, so let's keep going here, and I need to take Cynthia. Cynthia, we were trying to find some people. While you were waiting, it wasn't in vain. I was trying to find some sources here because I think you're going to tell us you need a car, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, how did you get into this situation?
Well, sir, I'm an also elderly disabled woman with COPD. I'm on oxygen 24/7.
Wow.
Also with fibromyalgia. Well, I fell this year and I broke both feet. And they didn't heal properly. And I adopted a child. She's now 8 years old. I've had her since she was abandoned here when she was a baby.
Who was she abandoned by? A relative?
Her mom came here from Florida, and I had met her once before. She was my boyfriend at the time, son's girlfriend.
Okay, boyfriend, son's girlfriend.
She came on her own with 2 kids and pregnant, saying she didn't know what to do.
So you raised that baby and adopted her?
Yes, I did, because she never came back. She left her here.
Cynthia, God love you, as my mom would say. God love you.
April Fool's Day, 7 years ago, she was left with me, and I got permanent custody adoption in 2017. And we just recently found out that she has 2 siblings, a year older and a year younger, that are now in foster care for the past 2 years. And so I'm trying to get them out of foster care. But I'm having real issues.
Cynthia, you want to take over? Wait, so you're going to get the other siblings and you want to adopt them too?
Well, I'll adopt them if that's possible, or if they just need care.
Cynthia, you're disabled and you're doing all of this. How wonderful. How old are you, Cynthia?
55.
55, are you? And you don't sound like you're in good health, you said, right?
No, I'm in pretty bad health
Well, if she can't afford a car, how is she going to be able to afford to help these folks?
That's what I don't understand. What kind of income do you have? Because you need a car. You don't have a car of your own right now. Is that right?
No, I have a scooter. I ride a Dino 125cc scooter. And my adult daughter lives with me. She's 24. She's a little disabled, but she's a great young person who helps me with the kid.
Okay, so what you're saying, Cynthia, you're looking for a car. Is that it? In a short story, you need a car, right?
Yeah, and I have like 1,200 saved.
Well, I don't want you – listen, please don't buy a car yet until you talk with us because, you're going to get ripped off. Don't do that. Now, your monthly income, I mean, how much is it?
Well, I'm disabled, and both my daughters are disabled, so...
What is the total income of the household, dear?
Around $2,000 a month.
Okay, and you get food.
Not counting my oldest daughter's job income.
Do you get Medicaid?
Yes.
Food stamps.
Medicaid. Yeah.
Okay, good. So I'm just asking in case there's a payment involved. But I would try to find a car, but I don't know. I mean, we have a list of people that need cars. We ought to start our own car program. I'm serious at some point, Mark. But can you afford, and this is another thing we come across, people can't afford to insure them or to license them if they get them.
Remember Daphne gave away a car one time and she didn't have a license.
Well,
I'm taking a blame for that. I'm the one who did it. Daphne got her on the phone, and then I did it. And I didn't. She arranged it. But, man, I didn't even think to ask. I never even thought to ask. You do have a license, don't you, Cynthia?
Yes, I do. I have a good license. I haven't had any accidents ever.
Okay. Can you afford to get the plates and insure it?
Yeah. Because I've been getting a lot of... I'm insured for my scooter as it is. Granted, that's only like $200 a year.
Well, you would probably, if we got you an old car somewhere. I mean, Mark, do we know people?
It's so hard on cars right now, man. It's because of the value.
It's hard to get cars right now, Cynthia, because of the values of even the old pieces of crap.
And they've all got their things stolen. The carburetor thing.
The catalytic converters.
Yeah, that converter.
Cynthia, do me a favor. Leave your name with Suzanne. I really mean this. I'm going to start putting a list together and see what we can do about sourcing cars somewhere. I'm going to try to come up with something creative. Even if we raise some money to partially pay for them or whatever, or to fix them up, we got to figure something out. We really do. For people truly in need.
That's something that,
plates, insurance, and gas.
we just talked about it. She said she can.
I don't think. I just want to adopt 2 more kids.
Who is that nut on 3?
Now,
Isn't that disease usually in like Europe?
It's in tropical and subtropical countries.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah, it's not in Golden, is it?
Fucking nothing.
He probably traveled over.
Or he probably lives in Golden.
No, he's imagining it. Trust me, I talked to the fucking
Oh,
guy.
he's a legit nut.
Yes, we talked. It's terrible.
Dude, I've been out to people's homes. This one lady, she was about 70, showed me a jar, like a mason jar, with bugs in it. There was 0 bugs in it. It was carpet fiber. And she's watching them climb around in the jar. And that was the first time I, like, really realized, like,
Well,
she's insane. Like,
legitimately.
legitimately.
Are you looking to say?
Yeah, or they see the bugs on them.
Yeah.
She's like, literally,
Hold on,
and she
guys.
told me there was a rat in a box.
Hold on.
Visit
Soccer too.
Call an agent for a quote today.
Hey,
By the way, Frank Duran, the real estate man, is on that case where he's going to try to help that lady sell the house before it's foreclosed out from under her. That's because Frank Duran, the real estate man, is a great person. He really is. I mean, I have people come back to me and say, you know what, thank God you really referred me to him because he helped me so much. He can help you evaluate your home for sale. He can help you get out of a home quickly if you need to, or he can help you sell it conventionally for the most money in the shortest amount of time. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, my friend for 30 years, 27 years. 303-920-1622. You know who else I've known from the beginning? Ideal Home Loans. They were started many years ago here in Colorado, for Colorado. Brent Ivinson is still in charge, and his theory or his philosophy is easy. You get a loan and you structure it to be beneficial to the borrower. So he pays all his loan officers' salaries, and he doesn't want them incentivized by upping costs. If anything, they keep the costs low. They're direct mortgage lenders, and they have many options that can help you. First of all, the interest rate guarantee, which lasts 2 years. If rates go down, they refinance you free of charge, and then you get another 2-year guarantee. They also have the pre-approval, which is like a cash deal. So if you are out looking for a home, the money's already approved and set aside for you. Plus, they have credit optimization, which means even if you're approved, they get you better scores by maybe paying down a credit card you need to by $40, $50, $200, but it gets you incredible good pricing. IdealHomeLoans.com for your next ideal home loan. 303-867-7000.
Yeah, then she takes me into the bedroom and says there's also this big rat in this box. And I'm going, and I already looked at the bugs.
What are you doing in her house?
Going over there to help her.
Every once in a while, for major cases, we send him on in person. Cool. But
yeah, and then I'll come on the air from over there.
A couple of them have been. We have to do some of that more.
Totally.
I want to do better when we can do video feeds of that and shit.
So the reason I was going over there was she was saying that it was so infested and the landlord wouldn't do anything about it. And she painted such a picture, I was dying to get video of this place. So I go over there. It's pretty much spotless. And then her specimens are nothing. But the rat in the box was a sock. Just a sock. But she saw a rat. I mean, it's remarkable.
We've had people.
And you tell them, I'm sitting there going, well, those are carpet fibers. There's no bugs there. She's like, oh no, you're not looking close enough. Look, they're moving. You know, they try to suck you into their fucking fantasy. Then he sent me out to one. I knew they were nuts, but he didn't. So I figured maybe he was right. He's been doing it longer.
Right. This was a real boner.
I get out there, it's two nutcases,
really bad.
And they hear you.
I was so upset, like, I get, but I said, Mark, you got to help these people.
The call came in, the mailman was ripping them off. The mailman was steering their mail and somehow was stealing their bank account
in their house,
social, and then ended up stealing the house. So I go out there, and both of them are there. They're in their 50s.
And she calls me. I'm on my way to vacation. I'm taking the motor home.
Like literally,
he calls me and says, Tom, what's going on? He says, they're completely fucking nuts.
Like nuts. They have their bank statements out where they're showing me where the mailman stole money. The bank statements are just as normal as you could ever fucking imagine. There's no cash withdrawals. There's absolutely nothing. And I'm like, well, what are you showing me here? And they're like, well, it's just all there. But there's two of them, is what makes it even crazier. They were a divorced couple that lives together now. And one of them made the other one fucking nuts. Like, legitimately nuts.
Complimentary nuttiness.
It was so bad over there. It's the only time where I'm at an older couple's house, at least. I'm literally looking around what's in the kitchen. We're sitting at the kitchen. I see that they've got a golf club over here. I see anything that I can turn into a weapon quick. Once I started realizing how fucking crazy they were. Now, I didn't think they were violent, but once I realized they're crazy, you don't turn your back. I mean, you're like, what the fuck? And you're kind of used to these wackos, but man.
I usually can detect it before I send people out.
God, those two are something else. But how often does one affect the other?
But then we have people who are not nuts as far as being nuts, that the problem's real. But we go to help them, and then they fucking turn on us like rabid animals.
Oh, my God.
Well,
that lady we helped move.
Remember her? The nicest.
So she went after Daphne for stealing her 1985 Montgomery Ward's pleather purses. And then went after me said I was stealing her mail. And this is after we went over there
literally
and helped this order, literally load up her shit and move it to a different place.
Got her a place to live, everything.
Oh, God, she was the worst.
Except that lady who moved into that guy's basement.
Oh.
That
was Tom Martino, you're a troubleshooter.
3-713-TALK, 713-8255. Danielle. Hi, how are you doing? Let's bring up Smarty Marty. Hey, Smarty Pants, what do we have here? Which one is this?
Well, let Danielle explain it.
All right, Danielle, you called in. How long ago was the call here?
Originally I called about a month and a half ago.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it's been kind of an ongoing
And
thing.
what was the original problem?
Well, I was quoted a price, and then they gave us different options. And I was under the understanding that it was an option to do financing, or you could pay.
Was this with an HVAC system?
Yes. Yes.
And they said it was going to be like $17,800, and you were forced to finance it, and you wanted to pay for it.
Right.
And they say you can't pay for it.
Right. So they said you have to finance it.
Well, whoever heard of that? It sounded like they just wanted to get all the finance charges. So what happened, Smarty Pants?
Well, we thought we had it rectified because Danielle told me that they called her and said that we were able to remove the financing.
Yeah.
But so I thought it was done.
But?
And then Danielle received some sort of bill about, a week ago, Danielle?
Right, yeah.
So 2 weeks.
And she said, what's going on? I wanted to finance this thing, and they're still sending me bills. I mean, excuse me, I wanted to pay it off, and they're still sending me bills. What happened?
Well, I got involved, and I spoke with the owner, and I also spoke with Danielle, and there was some miscommunication on both ends, Tom. There was some miscommunication. He apologized to her. She apologized to him. And we are all friends now, and it's all fixed.
And she paid it off?
Danielle?
Did you pay it off, Danielle?
I had already paid it off last month. I gave them a check in full as soon as they were done with the furnace.
Oh!
And then I received, but they went ahead and submitted the financing.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, I get it.
And I checked the dates. They submitted it after they cashed my check for $17,800.
Now, that's weird. That's like they wanted to be paid double.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, was that Marty, what's your gut feeling? Was that a bookkeeping error or an office error?
Yes, that's what I believe it was.
You don't think they were trying to rip, trying to get paid? Okay.
What do you think, Danielle? You spoke to the owner.
Yeah, he said that it was just from before that because he had actually, even though I told them I'm not going to finance, he had actually submitted the financing.
Okay.
And that's where the miscommunication
Okay, I get it. They thought they wanted to submit that just in case.
Mail.
Right.
So he said he was going to come on the show if he had time.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Smarty Pants. And you know what? Hell, I got to use my dinger. I haven't used my dinger in a while, and you know what they say? You don't lose. You don't use it. Yeah, use it or lose it. or take the blue pill. Okay. My dinger sounds pretty good nowadays. It used to be distorted. All right, so Smarty Pants, you got my dinger. Remember that.
Does CBD help with your dinger?
You're despicable.
CBD doesn't really help the dinger, does it, really? I mean, technically, does it? Has it been known?
It won't hurt.
All right, well, I don't know. Tell me, Talib, what about you? Oh, it does work. Okay. 303-713-8255. What's happening in your life? Kent, what's going on, Kent?
Hey, Tom, thanks for taking my phone call.
Yes, sir.
I've got a question. We've got a real uncooperative POA up here in Weld County.
Oh, now, wait, a who? A who?
Property Owners Association.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like an HOA. I call them HOAs, but okay, it's a POA. For what reason?
Yeah.
Single-family homes or what?
Well, the difference between a POA and an HOA is POA can apply to single-family homes and commercial entities.
Okay, go ahead. I get it. So what's going on, man? What's happening?
So they're less than transparent, and I'm wondering if a Colorado Open Records Act applies to them.
No.
If I send them a CORA request,
no.
It does not.
No. What you have to do is they have to abide by the bylaws. But there is an organization that does regulate associations to a certain extent. But it's quasi-regulation. They don't enforce anything, which says they have to have fair dealings, et cetera, et cetera. But there should be, by contract, a right to see based on your closing docs and the bylaws and the organization. I don't know of any HOA or POA, as you put it, in the world ever that has bylaws that says owners can't see stuff. What are they not showing you?
Well, we've got a board that I would use the word corrupt with, and there's two sets of rules. There's one for the board. They don't enforce the covenants on themselves, but they force it on everybody else.
Why don't you oust the board? I mean, there are ways to oust a board. You get the look. It's all tied to the bylaws. And by the way, your title company would have your bylaws if you misplaced them, and it'll tell you how to oust the board. There's strength in numbers, Ken. What you have to do is go out and find those numbers. Some boards, though, what they do, and I'll come back to you in a sec here. I got to take a break. But what some boards do is they're overloaded with proxies, meaning there's a lot of people who don't vote because they don't care, and they give away their proxy. It's like a perpetual proxy, and that means a small number of people control a majority of votes. When that happens, then you're truly screwed. I mean, I lived in a complex one time where one woman controlled the majority. One woman. And it was a perpetual proxy, meaning she didn't have to go out and get it renewed every year. So if you wanted to fight her, you had to figure out who gave the proxy to her and get it undone on your own, and you weren't allowed to solicit other owners. She put herself into a dictatorial position. I call her Putin.
Seriousness about sexual function with CBD. We talked about this last time. We're going to clinicals to actually treat women for sexual dysfunction, vulvodynia, and chronic pelvic disorder.
What is chronic pelvic disorder?
So women actually
chronic
have
pelvic pain. Well,
he
knows because he's one of those doctors.
So 20% of American women actually have issues with pain and
they don't enjoy sex at all.
Correct. So they don't lubricate. They don't. It's just a generalized pain symptom, and so it's something we're going into clinical trials with insurance. We talked about this last time.
We did,
and we're still hung up.
It's a little hard to talk about.
Well,
but we did.
It's the 90s version of erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, which is weird because talking ED now is nothing.
But back at the time, it was really hard, and guys.
It was really hard.
I got a lot of these things.
Did you have your headphones on?
Okay.
If you're in pain, I want to direct you to the website coloradopaincare.com, because there you'll see all of the locations in the Denver metro area and outlying areas where you can get help from 7 in the morning till 7 in the evening. 7 to 7, 12 hours for your convenience. You can even get same-day appointments. And here's the deal. They're dedicated to one thing. getting you out of pain. It's wonderful to have a clinic that has more in their arsenal than just painkillers, pain meds. In fact, they try to get their people off of that, and they have been greatly successful with treatments other than pain meds. They have all kinds of physical therapy at a doctorate level that help you manage your own body to stay out of pain. They also have invasive procedures, non-invasive procedures, nerve blocks, spinal cord stimulators, whatever it takes. They work with insurance. And they'll even work with other docs if you have them. 303-GOT-PAIN. Find out more, 303-GOT-PAIN, or go to the website, coloradopaincare.com. Become the banker is really a strategy. It's not just one thing. It's getting life insurance, overfunding it on purpose. So that means you pay more than the premium on purpose, but the extra money goes into an account that accumulates interest tax-free. And it earns tax-free. Why would you have that? Because actually, I call it insurance with a sidecar, can have a retirement plan if that builds up over time. In fact, you can help it build up more by borrowing from it for yourself. So instead of having a car payment, you're borrowing your own money and paying it back with interest. So by retirement, it's a pretty good nest egg. Find out more, becomethebanker.org. If you have an insurance claim of any kind at home, whether it be a fire from the big fires, fringe damage from the fires, maybe even a kitchen fire, or overload of electricity, or you have wind or hail or pipes that burst, whatever it is, don't ever trust your homeowner's insurance to do the right thing. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. You need insurance adjusters, and I recommend Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado as one of your alternatives. They will take a look at your claims free of charge. They'll look at it to see and make sure you're treated fairly, and they'll let you know up front what they can do for you. Or if you've had a claim closed and you don't think you were treated fairly, call them. They're always going to get more money than you can get on your own, and they're going to fight your insurance company if necessary. 720-715-0000, 720-715-ZEROS, and the website, coclaims.com.
Your car is worth more right now than any time in the past, and that's pretty exciting.
Trade in, trade up, trade down, whatever your needs are.
Oh, lady, did you have a worse one? Oh, you were actually did I have my headphones on, please?
He didn't have them on.
Oh.
He did the boing on you. What do you think, Billy? Boing.
Oh, and I said,
what? Who didn't hear it?
We heard the boing.
No, I heard it.
You couldn't have heard it.
Right.
You didn't have headphones on.
We could hear some bleed over.
I got headphones on.
Oh, but you hear it delayed. Oh, that is live. I didn't realize that was your headphone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I switched from live to delayed right here.
The other headphones messed up his hair, so he didn't want to use them.
I like Doc's hair.
You're right, Doc. Messes up my hair.
I figured as much.
It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of the...
I want to talk to Brian about his leishmaniasis.
Okay, good, because you know I'm tired of him. If he was the guy that was on last time, well, he swore to God he had it, his wife has it, everyone has it.
What? Oh yeah, I will.
Why do you believe he doesn't?
Wait, but Jamie, you won't cure it. You'll still have it. You know that.
Perfect. They take the rest of his life.
What?
Perfect. That's taking the rest of his life. No.
Where did he say he got it?
Well, I don't know. I haven't talked to him.
From where?
You.
Baumgarten fibers.
Or the rat in the box.
And who diagnosed him as having it? Him? Was he a self-diagnosed?
I don't know if this is the guy.
But there were no sandflies in Colorado anyway.
Didn't we finish with Ken? I mean, I don't know what else to tell him. he wants to get.
You can't fight the HOA. You got to get rid of the board.
Man, they proxy it though. You are fucking screwed. This woman, when she got the majority, she made a rule that no one can solicit other homeowners and users. The mailing lists are private. You literally then would have to stand outside an elevator and hope you find the ones that she proxied. She had enough to have a majority. She controlled the entire building. She had the fucking lobby redecorated. Anything she wanted, you couldn't fight her. You couldn't fight her. And she still has control because she went out and got proxies, so she alone is majority.
And then she blocked your ability to find out who had proxies
to get it to talk them out of it. You could send out a letter to say, if you proxy, get your vote back. We need to have democracy here. You couldn't even do that, and I don't even know how it ended. I left. I said, fuck this. As soon as that happened, I put it up for sale. For other reasons too, but that was a killer. I hated it. One fucking woman controls the entire building.
I wish I bought that place.
Which one? The little one?
Yeah. That would have been perfect for Miles.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Oh, wait, the guy went away. I wanted to take him, the guy with the disease.
I thought you were going to finish with Kent, so I lined him up for tomorrow.
Okay, good. We'll take him tomorrow. And that disease, is he the guy we talked to once before?
Yeah, for leishmaniasis.
So what are we going to do? Do you know what he wanted?
I think he had some more proof that the leishmaniasis was in his water, but I wasn't sure, Tom.
Okay, well, if he has proof, I'd like to talk to him about it. But, Doc, what is leishmaniasis?
Leishmaniasis is a parasitic disease that's usually found in tropical and subtropical climates.
All right. Now, Kent.
Golden?
Like Golden.
Kent, he's on the phone. I think he's going to bring him back tomorrow. Listen, it's hard to get rid of a homeowners group. By the way, PanaceaLife.com or RealCBDTheWorks.com, 40% off now when you use Tom. That's 40% off for a limited time for the end of the month. If you use Tom for any of the promo codes.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino. All of us at 630 KHOW.com and on the iHeartRadio app. Leland Conway is next on Denver's talk station.